All right. Here we are. It is Friday, everyone. And as you know, on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, the last panel goes live. And I, my friends, am the Laps Comic Fan. With me, as always, is our awesome panel. To my right, and not less than me, is Lunchbox Warren. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful. Getting over a I'm older than I used to be injury. But aside from that, though, I'm doing good.
Awesome. And to the box below him is Bob Lavis Mavius. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good, man. Can't complain. Looking forward to this one. This was fun to go back and think about some of these games and remember which ones I used to play. And it brought a smile to my face. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, this was fun for me too. It was very fun for me. And bringing up the caboose of this amazing train is the esteemed Reverend Grey Poupre. How are you?
Well,
you feeling controversial today?
A little bit controversial. I have a feeling that some of my picks are not going to be on your list, tragically. But we'll see.
All right. Well, the first question we always talk about is, what got us into this thing. So, Warren, if you want to start off, what got you into Nintendo and how did you come about it? Like, do you remember the time when it came out in the United States? Because I have a different story than most people because of the area I lived in. But, what was your first things with the Nintendo, man?
I'm not exactly sure when we got one, but I remember it was a Christmas time period. That's usually when we got our game systems, and we only had, I believe we only had Mario and Duck Hunt which came with the system for a while before we got started adding on to it. But I remember even before we got our first system, I believe we were renting them from like Blockbusters and stuff where they would come in the suitcase. Can't remember if it was the NES or if it was the Super Nintendo that we were doing it the most with. But it was like if you couldn't afford one, you would just go rent it for the weekend, and that was a real fun weekend. And it would come in this big old suitcase deal and along those lines. But yeah, for the longest time, I think it was just Mario and Duck Hunt. And I remember when I figured out that if you plug in the other controller, you can control the duck. So then my brother was trying to shoot the duck, and I'm sitting there controlling its left-right movements, and that was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, Bob, same question, sir.
So I got my NES. I'm wanting to say like 87, 88, somewhere around there, probably 87, because I think it released for testing like in 85, got a wide release in 86, because I think it had already been out a little while when I got it. And I remember getting it over Christmas and just, falling in love with that thing. Kind of like Warren, I had, the original Super Mario and Duck Hunt for the longest period of time before I ended up getting other games. And I remember the frustrations that came with the NES as well, where you'd get the games that after a while they wouldn't play and you'd have to blow in the cartridge, just to get it to work, or you'd have to get the strategy guides in order to beat the games, or you'd save up your allowance to buy a game because at the time you weren't really renting them or you didn't have reviews on them, and so you'd buy the game and then it turned out the game sucked. And so yeah, those frustrations that came with it, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun memories when it comes to the NES. I had a blast with that thing as a kid, and like I said, this was fun to go back and look at these.
Yeah, so I'll go next, and then Gray, you can wrap this one up. I lived in the testing market, so I didn't know that's what it was, right? But we went to FAO Schwartz one, I think it was sometime in the fall or something like that. It was 1985, because I've told this story before.
The FAO Schwartz?
The FAO Schwartz, yeah, with the keyboard on the ground.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we lived like 25 minutes away from there. So we had gotten the Nintendo. It was like me and my brother had like birthday and Christmas money, or something, because like this is before we came to crazy religious land, right? So we were kind of still a normal family until about 1990. And excuse me, they had the black box games. That's all they had there. And it was like you got the Nintendo, and then they had specific games that you could buy, and they were like you could buy cluster games, like you could buy 3 for $60, as opposed to, because it was still being tested, you know. And this was 1985. I remember this specifically because I would talk to people about Nintendo, and they were like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, people still had the Atari and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, Nintendo, the great, you know, like with Mario. And they're like, what? So, and once it got regularly released, people were like, you know, oh yeah, you know, and it was a really cool time, man, because I had remembered the end of Atari, the end of like the 7800, when they tried to come back and like update their graphics and stuff like that. And I had a 2600, and I mean, you know, it's as good as one button controlling can be, you know. So like you had to have a lot more imagination with Atari than you did with Nintendo. And it was the first time I felt like it wasn't necessarily arcade, but it was like I'm actually in the game. I'm really controlling these characters. Like I'm making a connection with them. So it was really cool to do. And yeah, I fell in love with it. And I have so many honorable mentions. It's ridiculous. And these are the games that I picked were games that I actually owned and played a lot of. But I did play other games later on. And I think I played more of the Super Nintendo library because I had a friend who, and I'll explain next week, but I had a friend who had a lot of games, just put it that way. And he would let me borrow any one I wanted. But the Nintendo was great. And Gray, how did you meet up with the old Nintendo?
Yeah. So I was super late to the Nintendo party. I don't know. So yeah, I was a poor kid. We got like a ton of hand-me-down things, but we didn't have luxuries. Like video games were definitely not one of them. So I did get a bunch of hand-me-down toys, and then eventually, long into the Sega and Super Nintendo era, then it kind of became obsolete. So yeah, one of the family friends decided they no longer needed it. So we inherited a Nintendo sometime in the 90s. I don't know exactly when it was, but it was well past its due. I was like 1 or 2 consoles behind always. Like when the PS2 came out, or sorry, PlayStation originally came out, that's about the time that I got a Super Nintendo. So yeah, it was always weird, man. But when I inherited it, I think we got 2 games, if I remember right. We got a cool sports one, which I don't know. It found its way into my heart. And then, yeah, we also got a second one, which was a bonus 2-for cartridge. It was the Mario Duck Hunt thing, which is awesome. I love both of those games. But the Duck Hunt gun that we got was just broken. Like it didn't work. So it really sucked. So we essentially had 2 games, but 3 we were supposed to have. But I really got into that before we actually inherited one. I mean, like friends had the consoles, so like I got to experience Metroid, and I remember one of my friend's older brothers showing me, like the bonus scene at the end. I got to see that when I was way too young, and it's like that just blew my mind. The secret behind Samus, but yeah, man,
Justin Bailey.
There's just. There's some weird memories that I have of it. And then when I was really young, I don't even remember the age, but I got spinal meningitis. And anyway, I lost a couple weeks of my life, but then I came to in the hospital. And yeah, I just remember I got to play unlimited Nintendo. They just had this TV on a cart that they'd bring to you. So I remember playing Pitfall and a bunch of awesome games. And that's how I kind of fell in love with it, but didn't actually own one till long after that.
Yeah, so most of my video game playing was I had a brother, so we would pool our money. That's how we had to do it. Because my dad, he how he was cool with it was they had the black box game Golf, where Mario, like just golf, not even Mario Golf, but it was still Mario. You could tell it was Mario, but it was the golf. And he would play the crap out of that. And that's how we got that. And yeah, like I had, even before regular Super Mario Brothers, which came out like a few weeks later, it didn't come with our system. We had just the actual Mario Brothers from the arcade. You have to hit the little Koopas, and then you can knock them off.
They weren't even super.
No, they weren't super yet. And they had the POW thing in the middle, like it's just like the arcade game. So that was pretty neat. I thought. I was like, I'm playing it at home. Fucking yeah. Yeah. Fuck you, quarters. I don't have to do that. I can just press start. Like it's awesome. It was so cool. And I think it revolutionized home entertainment, because people, that are maybe too young, they probably maybe know the history, but Atari crashed the video game economic console. Like the consoles were dead, right? So that's why Rob the Robot became a thing, right? That's why it's called the Famicom. It was the family computer, right? So when they marketed it, like the video game crash had already happened, and they were trying to market this system in a different way than just another video game console, because people were like, fuck that, let's bury a bunch of ETs in the Alamogordo desert, so that had just ruined a whole bunch of things. So that's why Rob the Robot became a thing for the American release, and they had games like that. So it was like this entertainment machine and not just video game machine, even though that's what it was. So that was interesting with the way Nintendo was. And they're still innovative, don't get me wrong, but it seemed like back then they were on the cutting edge of technology. Orange. Well, I'm glad to say I figured you probably could, but hopefully, hopefully you'll catch it on replay and then leave a bunch of comments. That would be awesome.
Tell us where we're wrong.
What
there's no
do you think we're controversial?
Link us to your TED Talk, and we'll check it out.
Link us to your TED Talk.
We'll watch your
Definitely
lectures.
Cool with that. But thanks, man. I hope everything's good with you, brother. And hey, how you doing? So we'll go right into our lists, because I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. So number 10 on my list was Metroid. Metroid, I think it definitely revolutionized certain action games. The platforming in that was, that was the main focus of the game, was the platforming and how you moved around the environment. And if you didn't have Nintendo Power, you had to make your own goddamn maps. I don't know how many of you guys did that for video games, but I did. I had like tons of graph paper, and I would literally make maps of these places. And I didn't know what certain places were called. Like I didn't know, like I knew certain, like in Metroid, this place was called Brinstar. I knew this, but like I would name like where the doors went to, right? So yeah, like Nightmares and Nerdscape says the NES was my introduction to graph paper. Exactly. Like it was. I took so much of that stuff from school. And I would make my own maps, especially for a game like Metroid. Don't leave if you're going to get angry, Orange Avenger.
I think he's already angry. You made a controversial number 10, sir.
How is that controversial? It's just like I have a lot of other games. I'm not saying these are the best games. These are my top 10 that I owned and
We
played.
haven't even got to Gray yet, Orange. Come on now.
Yeah,
that's when you get mad.
Yeah, you'll see. And Bob, someone wants to know if you have a popcorn machine. I do. I have an antique one.
Yeah, I need one of those too.
And it works.
It's because earlier he told me that I probably have my own home theater set up, and I wish I did. I need one set up, and yeah, I definitely need a popcorn machine up in here. So,
But yeah, so that was like, I thought it was cool. Like, Samus, you could get so many. How fast you beat the game and how many things you got was like that would take off more of her suit. And then there was the infamous Justin Bailey code that was just hilarious. And then you got to actually play in, the female form, as it were. And there was a name for it. I'm sure Orange Avenger could tell us. But there was a name for that specific suit, even though it was just Samus. But yeah, it was cool, man. The screw attack. I mean, that move right there, like, named a website, and there's just so much good from Metroid, and it spawned so many other games. Yeah, it might be the Zero suit. Yeah, the one where it's just her in the green hair and the like pinkish purple stuff. But yeah. It's that. Yes. All right. I'm gonna have to stop reading Orange's comments, because then I'm gonna get sidetracked and start talking about like things like Justin Bailey and like the Rupee House and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, that was my number 10. Warren.
My number 10 is it's kind of like a Mega Man-esque kind of game, but it was from Disney, and it was from one of my favorite cartoons, and that was the Darkwing Duck game. And I bought like a lot of the games that were based off of the cartoon series and stuff I was watching, and I just remember playing. It wasn't as good as like the DuckTales game, but it was fun because I got to play as Darkwing Duck, and I always thought that was just so cool.
Well, it's pretty cool. Like, it's Capcom made so many good actual licensed games, where at the time, like LJN was
the Rescue Rangers game that Orange just mentioned, that was another great one too. I mean,
it was fantastic.
Yeah, there are a lot of fantastic.
If he didn't own it, it wouldn't be on his list. Of course, these are. He says, "God damn it, Orange! You know what? I'm gonna put my racing stuff together this weekend, and we'll just go race. We're gonna race. We're gonna like dance off racing, and then you can kick my ass in Street Fighter some more."
It is kind of funny. You mentioned the licensed games. Nowadays, when you see a licensed game, you kind of just avoid it. But back in the day with the NES games, like the Lion King game, the DuckTales, the Disney was hitting some bangers out there when it came to their side-scrolling kind of
Capcom did good. Capcom did really good, because then LJN took over for like X-Men, and they were just garbage. You know what I mean? Like they were just so bad. And LJN just had a stranglehold on a lot of things, like, Beetlejuice. Like they had, like LJN had like freaking like accessories for the NES that didn't even work with LJN games. Like that's how ridiculous they were, right? But yeah, it's pretty cool, like that there's so many games to pick from. But Darkwing Duck, I don't know if I've ever played. I probably did later on, but I don't remember playing. I played a lot of Rescue Rangers and DuckTales.
Woohoo.
So, but yeah, like that.
That DuckTales game was the shit. Like
fantastic.
That was a fantastic game.
Fantastic game. Yeah, the Moon. Everybody remembers the Moon soundtrack. Moon. Moon. All right, Bob.
So yeah, my list is based on the ones I played the most, not necessarily what I think's the best. But number 10 for me is Battletoads.
Oh, great choice!
Nice choice.
Hallway, man.
Battletoads was fun. I mean, I don't know if it was like an answer to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or what, but
I think so.
These giant toads running around, and then I love when they would punch, they get the fist that would just get like real big and whatnot. When it was just a lot of fun. I mean,
notoriously hard as shit.
Yes, it was hard as hell. And then when you get on the little vehicle that
the speedway, it's impossible.
It sucked. I was like, it was hard as hell, but I had fun with Battletoads.
Mm-hmm. It's a great game, and like the Battletoads Double Dragon game is also very hard Super Nintendo, but it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. And I know it was like the first time you could really fuck with your friend because you could actually hurt them, right? And like you could actually just like, especially on the hammer parts where you're going down the lines, holding on and you go across, you could just fuck up your partner. And it was so funny to just mess with people in that game. And it's hilarious. But Gray, I know you have some picks here and you probably have thoughts, but before you do, sir, we knew this would be a little bit,
Brought to you by Grey Poupée, a Jackie Gray joint.
I enjoy that thoroughly. Rated. Really, you should check out Jackie Brown. Yeah, so my number 10, I think, would be controversial, but my number 11 and 12, which are just outside of that, we're just talking about. So Rescue Rangers, amazing. I completely agree with Orange, S tier, and then Metroid. That would have been my number 11. I wanted to put them higher on the list because it feels like they totally should be on there. But if we're going out of things that I literally spent the most hours on, man, there's one game. And because we literally had 2 cartridges, we either had the original Super Mario Duck Hunt without Duck Hunt because we were too poor to buy a replacement gun. And we had this sports game, which was Nintendo's Ice Hockey.
Ice Hockey is cool.
It was so
fantastic.
Dude, I spent thousands of hours in this game. Like I still suck at it, but it was awesome. You got the selection of the fat guy, the medium guy, or the really tall, thin guy. It was great. I absolutely love that game. I spent way too many hours playing that game, so it had to make an appearance on my list. I think there's a lot of games that I enjoy way more, but out of necessity, like we just had this cartridge, so. Man, I love me some Ice Hockey. The nostalgic value is just through the roof on that one.
And just like with between the periods and getting the Gradius level was pretty good.
I almost put that one on my list. I spent a lot of time playing that one as well. And I always figured out a way that if you skated like up and down right in front of the goal, you could just pop it in and get it past the goalie almost every time. So I found a little trick there. So
it's really funny with that game. The mechanics in that game were so very well done because you're thinking like Nintendo, like the accuracy of the puck, things like that have to be pretty spot on. Like Blades of Steel is probably the more popular game, but like the Ice Hockey itself, like I literally made teams in seasons. Where like because you only had the 4 colored teams, I think it was like Canada, Russia, Sweden, and United States, right? Something like that.
I think
it was
those are the ones.
I think so. But like Orange mentions, the fights were the best, dude. It was just like the Peanuts, like Charlie Brown brawls, dude. It was just like a cloud of things, and guys would come out and then go back in and come out. But I would literally write in my notebooks and have freaking seasons with like I would make up 8 teams. There was 2 green teams and then there was this and that. Dude, I played that game so much. It was so fun. Great 2-player game. Just fantastic. And not a controversial pick. I don't think. That's a very solid pick.
I don't think it would be on many people's lists, especially when there's so many like amazing games. Like all of them that we've talked about so far, I would argue are more entertaining than this one. But man, out of necessity, I played this one for thousands of hours.
But we only did one pick. How do you know it's not on?
True.
Someone's,
fair enough.
But
I don't know.
So my number 9 is the Guardian Legend. I think that game is phenomenal. It's made by the people that made Gun Knack, which is it was Blades of Steel. You had to hold select, I think, during the 2nd and 3rd period, right? Wasn't it? That you could play the Gradius stage. But
I think that's right.
The Guardian
also
Legend,
a fun game
made by the people that made Gun Knack, which was a top-down shooter game. This game had like remnants of like Blaster Master, Zelda, all sorts of stuff mixed into one game, and I thought it was superbly done. And the scrolling of when you turn into the ship was just amazing. And it was just, I love the game, and the soundtrack is so good in that game. It is so good, man. Just getting into the first stage is just phenomenal. And how you could backtrack. You could actually backtrack, kind of like how you could in Metroid. So it had so many cool remnants of things where other games that were of the like, you couldn't do those specific things, you know? Like you couldn't go back and go to certain things that you could do in a top-down shooter game. You know, you couldn't do that. And just an overall great game. If you can go out there and play it, I would. It even holds up there's some hard parts in it, but it still holds up pretty well. And I think it's a game that is still worth playing today. But Warren, your number 9, sir?
My number 9 is the Batman game that came out that was licensed to the movie. Yeah, it was kind of like a Castlevania.
It was like Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah. And that one was a lot of fun with the 8-bit cutscenes and yeah, that was just a great game.
Yes, Batman is you're gonna hear about that later, but it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal game. And I don't want to give too much away because I'll talk about it a lot. But Sunsoft made so many fucking good games, man.
Oh, they did. They
made so many good games. And yeah. But Bob, your number 9, sir?
My number 9, RC Pro-Am.
Oh, okay. It's a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good little racing game, but you know, you were, instead of actual cars, you were racing little remote controlled cars. I don't know why. I thought it was a blast. And then you could drive over those little arrows that would give you like the little super speed, you know, and whatnot. I just thought it was a fun game. So I had a good time with that one, and I would play that one a lot.
One of the few games that you could use the NES accessory multi-tap for and play, you know, 4 players. Like, that's crazy to think, like, back then.
That is kind of crazy.
I didn't have one, but I knew you could. Like, that's pretty awesome, man. Like, I wish I had something like, but then that would require friends. And let's be real, dude. If I didn't have a brother, I was playing with a mirror. You know, let's be honest here. So, go ahead, Gray. Your number 9.
So my number 9, I think it might be the game that we rented the most. Like, for some reason, we didn't own this one, but man, I remember we came so close to beating it that like we kept renting it. But yeah, it was Capcom's Little Nemo: The Dream Master.
Mm-hmm.
It is a weird game that I had no frame of reference for. Just my brother showed up with it one day, and man, is it a weird kind of trippy, I guess, yeah, dreamlike game of 2D side scrolling, and it's just none of it kind of makes sense. You feed like bubble gum to frogs and stuff, and then they let you ride them, but then you kind of become other ones in a suit. It's weird. I'm sure the comic strip means something about this, but man, was that game fascinating. I think for me, it was between that and like Chippendale Rescue Rangers were like the two that we kind of rented the most. But I think we rented Dream Master a little bit more, and it felt like an achievement finally beating that one. But I love that game, and I can't explain why. It's so weird, and like to try and describe it to anybody.
It was number 11 on my list. I love that game. I love that game.
It's a fun game.
I didn't own it. It was my buddy had it, and we played it quite a bit. Like we would trade games and stuff like that, and we played that quite a lot, man. And I loved that game. It's so much fun. That and Chippendale Rescue Rangers was the game we probably played 2-player the most, because you know you could play 2-player, and there was a lot of fun in that. So those are all very good games, man. My number 8 is the Castlevania series, just for what it's done. I know a lot of people think that Simon's Quest is probably the one they like the least. It's either one people like the most or they like the least, you know, like the number 2. So I think no,
agreed, Orange.
It's not cheating.
It's against the rules.
That was literally part of the rules we set up. What are you talking about? You settle down, Jackie Gray. If you should probably read. You should probably read what's on that movie poster, and you should definitely read it.
There is a lot
Right.
to take in there.
There's some stuff there, but I thought if people liked multiple games in one series, it would be impossible to get more games out there than just saying, like what's the best and what's like, if you liked, like me, Dragon Quest is probably my favorite game series of all time. I'm not putting 4 Dragon Quests on a list of 10 games. Like that's not possible for me to do. And I probably played them more than any game because of the length it took to beat them. So that's why last week I said that if you want to, I said you don't have to, but if you would like to, you can put a series as a pick. And if you want to,
what would be
that, that's what I was going to do. Wait, you didn't pay attention to any of the rules, Gray. You just don't listen. I talk and it's just like birds.
Well, I mean, I listen.
Gray's a rebel.
When the important people are talking. Sorry, Warren, I didn't mean to talk over you. I meant to listen to what you were saying.
I just say Gray's the rebel. So
I said after you do that, then in that pick, rank them from best or worst to best. That's
okay.
What I would say.
Okay.
So for me, Castlevania, I would say it would be Simon's Quest as the worst, even though I do like it. Then I would say Castlevania 1 and then Castlevania 3. I think 3 offered you, it was like the predecessor right before Super Castlevania, and it offered you different paths and you had different characters and you could do there was a lot more that you could do than in the original games that they had out there. And I don't even think Simon's Quest is a bad game. I think it made bad choices. Like things that because the gameplay itself was fine. Like it played very well. It was very smooth. There were slowdowns and screen tearing like every other Nintendo game out there. But they had certain things that just didn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like getting the garlic and going to the graveyard and then kneeling against a giant mountain wall with the crystal and just have it. So if you didn't own like Nintendo Power or have access to like a game guide, like you would never know these things because no one in the town would help you. They would say stuff like Laurel's helps make better soup or like you're like, what? All right, sounds good. I am Error from Zelda 2, even though his brother worked at the bridge that you had to build, or get access to go across. But like there was like so many little things about Simon's Quest that I just thought made bad choices. Like some of the bosses you didn't even have to beat, right? And you could just walk straight through to the side and just get the orb and like so, and they really ruined the Grim Reaper boss. Like the first Grim Reaper in the first Castlevania was so cool and it was hard. And then the second one was just this slow moving blob. Like that would sometimes throw like a scythe at you or scythe, however you say it. And it was just like so stupid. But yeah, I'd say 2-1-3 is probably what I would rate on the Castlevania games. But Warren, you're
my number 8 is a game that I got my mom into the first time she's ever played a video game. And she played this more than I did, at the point where it's like, "Hey, Mom, can we play something else now?" And that was Bubble Bobble. That game was just insane, and it was. I don't remember how many levels there were, but there was hundreds of them, if I remember correctly. And it was just you just defeat all the enemies, and you would move down. I don't know if they were randomly generated or what the deal was, but it was just a really fun game, and I remember it fondly because my mom got totally hardcore into it, and
that's cool.
Yeah, so we were, it was a 2-player game, and it was a lot of fun, and just I remember having her get into it. It was a real blast. So it was a lot of fun playing together with her.
Yeah, so Bubble Bobble, like you could go to the sub levels, right? The further you got, the more the game crashed. There were minus levels, and then like you could get past those, and it would just the game didn't know what to do, and like you would just like things would just randomly appear in places, and you were like in the code of the game, and it just looked weird as hell. I've never done it. I've never got there because I couldn't ever do that, but I've seen people, in videos do that. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, but Bubble Bobble, Orange is right. He says, says it's like every adult woman did own that game in the 80s, and you're right. That's kind of funny.
Bubble Bubble.
Bubble Bubble.
All right. There you go, Gray. There you go.
All right.
There's that. Yay!
What up, Miss Sparkles?
Bob, you're up next, man.
It's kind of hard to follow that right there, but
is it going to be controversial?
No. For me, my number 8 is The Goonies 2.
How confusing was that for you?
You know what? It wasn't too bad, but that's what.
No, not the game, the naming of it. Because the first one came after the movie. I was like, "Where's the movie?"
Apparently, because I looked this up when I chose the game. Apparently, it was a sequel to a computer game that was out in Japan. So it's actually a sequel to that Goonies game. But anyway, I think it's pretty fun because you could go like into back rooms and all sorts of stuff. But part of the highlight of the game was that it had the music from the movie. It had Cyndi Lauper's "The Goonies Are Good Enough" in the game itself. So that made it a lot of fun because it actually felt like you were, in the Goonies world because you would hear that. Of course, though, it's got all the stuff that's not in the movies. Like little snakes chasing you and all sorts of stuff, and Mikey's running around fighting everything with a yo-yo and a slingshot.
Do you think it's the second best yo-yo game for the NES? Or
I don't know. It might be my favorite yo-yo game.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a cool game. I had a good time with that one. So that's my number 8.
Great game. I loved that game. That game was so crazy.
I had kind of the same problem that Orange is talking about during the first person sections. I would just get stuck because I wouldn't understand how to like get out of the. I could have used your maps. It would have helped a lot.
Left and right is rough, dude. It's very rough.
I know, man. I get confused. I have to hold up my hands sometimes.
No, I understand what you're talking about. The first, like that was like playing like Shadowgate. Like some of those like first person games were really hard, and that's why like literally you had to draw maps. You had to like back then. If you weren't subscribed to the power, you had to have it. So Gray, you're number 8, sir.
Yeah, so this one might be controversial. I got a feeling this isn't on anyone's list, and maybe this will go ahead and take me from having sensible picks in Orange's eyes too. But yeah, I guess this is where I would kind of do Lap's thing of putting the entire series in one slot.
Oh, my thing. You mean the rules?
Now I'm gonna do it, and yeah, I'm gonna go. It got better. The first one is the worst, and it got better each time. But yeah, the one that I would put forward is The Adventures of Lolo 3. I don't know if any of you know this game. It's a weird-ass puzzle game.
Yes.
So we used to get games at like yard sales and stuff. We would find that like people were selling them for like a quarter or whatever. So yeah, anyway, this is one of them that I found, and it's literally the only video game that my dad has ever played with me. But when he saw what the hell these puzzles were going on, he got into it. And I don't know, I guess I just have nostalgic value, memories of like watching him struggle to figure out the puzzle the same way that I was like struggling with it. I don't know, just it seemed like he always had things figured out, but on this we could almost be like equals. So I don't know, there's a lot of nostalgia in here, but it's weird. You're this like ball and you have a girlfriend ball. You can tell that she's a girl because she's got a bow in her head, and you're blue, she's pink. But yeah, there's a kingdom. You can turn snails into eggs and then walk across water with them. Don't worry about it. It's puzzles, man. It's fun. I enjoy this one. I spent, again, probably thousands of hours in this stupid game. And yeah, it's a good way to kind of zone out because you're really focusing on this stupid puzzle that has one way to beat it, and it's
Like
never quite obvious.
That's good though. Those type of games have so much replay value, like Crazy Creatures, games like that are like puzzle based, like Clacks, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
That you could go out and play that were relatively inexpensive. That you could go and do it, and you could have thousands of hours of adventures like that. Where you could do that. I don't think that's a bad pick at all, dude. Like it might be
it's a weird
controversial
one.
in the sense of many people might not have it or played it, right? That was a game I played way later on. I remember the little green thing from the advertisements and the way that was written, but I didn't play it as a kid. So, but I don't think that's a bad pick. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I think that's
it's
good.
a weird one. When you've got things like Metroid or Castlevania, why would you choose Lolo? But I don't know.
But that's what
nostalgic
you
value,
had.
man.
That's what you had.
It is.
That's what you had to
Indeed.
play. Like, so I mean that you can only, I had a friend, literally he lived down the road, and like his family, they got a Nintendo later on, and I would let him borrow games because like they could only afford to buy like the Black Tension games, the games that were like $20 and stuff. So like we played the shit out of Gauntlet and RBI Baseball, which I still thought were fun games. Like they were good, but that's sometimes it's what you had or what your mom, like Orange said, it's what your mom bought you, yeah, it's what you had, like like I said, I happened to, at the time Nintendo came out, I was a little bit, me and Bob are about the same age, so I was already a little bit older. I had a paper route. So like I could save money and like buy the things that I saw on Nintendo Power, but I always had to, me and my brother had this, back when Gatorade came in glass bottles, we had a big Gatorade bottle with he took a hammer and a screwdriver and put a big hole in it, and we would put our money in there and save up for stuff. So like that's how we would agree on like getting a game that we both thought we would like, and that's how we did it. So but yeah, so my next in my series of picks, my number 7 is Crystalis. That is a SNK game, and I think it is amazing. And I still think the replay value on it is super high. You could go play it today, right now, and it still holds up. And there is some stuff in there that you're like, wait, what am I doing? But it just, man, it's got so much cool, like the soundtrack for it is fantastic. The gameplay is super fast. I like the overhead, like Zelda style, but the powers were a lot cooler, and like you got a sword and you could shoot like whirlwinds out of it, and you power up your magic, and there was all these different places that you could go, and you could get warp boots and all sorts of stuff. I love Crystalis. It's always going to be a game that I go back to every year or so and play. I just actually played it last year and had a lot of fun with it. So if you've ever played it, if you haven't, go check it out, man. It's a really, really good game. But Warren, your number 7?
My number 7 is probably going to be what some people consider too low on the list, but the other ones I just played more, and it is the Legend of Zelda. I wasn't a huge fan of 2, nothing wrong with it. It just was different. But that first Legend of Zelda game was really, really, really cool, and the first time ever delving into a real RPG where big kind of open map, and there's sections where you had to learn skills in order to get to them, and it was a lot of fun. Now Zelda's going to make a big reoccurrence next week when we do Super Nintendo, because the Zelda game for that one I absolutely adored. But this one is
great.
Oh yeah, Link to the Past is amazing. But the Legend of Zelda was just a really fun game, and put a lot of hours into that one.
Yeah, it's the first one. That was one of the big ones that me and my brother bought together. That was one of the big ones because he knew about it from, I think one of his friends had Nintendo Power before we had got Nintendo Power. Like we were still buying random issues like from the grocery store when we would go. So we didn't have a subscription yet. I had a subscription to freaking Web of Spider-Man and Shadow of the Bat, but didn't have a subscription to freaking Nintendo Power, which I was playing just as much about as I was reading.
I think it was like the NES where they gave you like a year subscription when you bought the NES. If I remember right, with the Nintendo Power.
No, I got mine early, so
okay.
Nintendo Power wasn't even a thing whenever I got mine.
Yeah.
I was in the test audience, so I got mine in 1985.
I love those old Nintendo Power magazines.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. My brother, because, you know, like when you're the older brother, you get to choose and decide which stuff is yours when you end up leaving the house. I kept the video games, but he took all my Nintendo Powers, which I paid for. I paid for the subscription. Yeah. And took my Lobo poster. I had the freaking the Bite Me fanboy poster with the 2 guns and up to the knees and bullet shells, the Bisley poster. He took that because he's a dick. But go ahead, Bob. You're
all right. Number 7 for me, Double Dragon.
Oh, good one.
Double Dragon, it was a lot of fun on the NES. I still prefer the arcade version, but the NES version was still a lot of fun, especially if you had, you know, a friend to play with, and you could play with with both characters in the game. It made a lot of fun if you had someone else there to go through everything. Just kicking the crap out of people was just fun.
Yeah, that's what getting all the
cool.
hearts. You know, when you make the guy go to the edge and then you go up the fence and then down the fence and then back up the fence, down fence, and then you swing the bat at that little corner of that red thing. Yeah, dude, because then you can get the elbow, and the elbow just killed everything, like the abobos.
Yeah,
those freaking things.
Yeah, so for me, Double Dragon.
That's a great game, man. I love the one-on-one fighting mode too. That had like the better graphics. Like it was pretty cool, man. Like I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. Double Dragon 2 was also really good. I like that game, but I think the first one holds a closer place in my heart.
I don't recall playing the second one very much.
That's the one where a lot of it you did the jump and spin kick,
okay,
like that one. Yeah. And then they did the Super Double Dragon where you could grab people and do the kick, the bap, 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 or the punch. Bap, 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 bap. Like that shit was awesome. I'm such a nerd. All right. Gray, your next pick, dude.
Well, speaking of nerdy, and possibly pissing off Orange, I'm choosing an LJN one that I don't know why. Again, it was a yard sale game, but man, I spent way too many hours playing this one specifically. It's Town and Country Surf Designs Wood and Water Rage.
TNC Surf Design?
TNC Surf Design. I love that one, man. I don't know why. The surfing in it sucked, and as surfing, you could either be Cool Cat or the Thrilla Gorilla. Because,
the monkey
of course.
guy. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the ripoff of Donkey Kong. It's weird. It is super 80s. It is a thing of its time. But man, what holds up for me is the wood section, I guess, where you could be either Joe Cool or the Tiki Man. And you drove rode these 80s style fishtail boards that were just, man, I enjoyed that so much. I wasted countless hours. The surfing sucked, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to basically go, basically go off the screen and then come back, and the surfing sucked. But the skateboarding, it was so awesome.
Skateboarding is pretty rad.
I got into it so much, and I wasted so many hours. It is one of those that I could definitely speed run the skating, and that's still just, man, I love it. And it's super weird. You could play as either this kind of fake Elvis guy or somebody who just has a tiki mask for a face with radical colors on it. So I don't know. I would say it doesn't get its love, but while the surfing kind of sucks, man, that skateboarding more than makes up for it. One of my favorite skate games ever.
Yeah, so we've had a few people make their picks. Let me see. I gotta go up and find their first pick. Nightmares and Nerdscape said number 10, Guardian Legend. See, other people played it. It's a good game. You see, where's number 9? Number 9 for him was Paperboy. I played that a lot. I didn't own it, but I played it a lot. Number
I didn't hate
8,
that one.
Bionic Commando, which will definitely be appearing later on in my list.
I love me some Bionic Commando. I was so
dude.
excited when they were gonna bring that kind of property back, but yeah, nothing quite beats the first time you realize, like, wait, you could have a grappling hook hand thing, like that is.
Oh,
awesome.
nothing beats
I need
when
that.
you actually kill the end boss and it's Hitler's head exploding.
I mean, spoilers, man.
I my bad. I think I missed his number 8. I don't know what he picked as number 8. But number 7 he picked Bases Loaded 2.
Nice.
Or no, sorry, number 7 he picked Bases Loaded 2. Sorry. And yeah, so we're on to number 6 right now. And my number 6 is the Ninja Gaiden series. And Ninja Gaiden series. So yes, go to the gay den. I think, man, it's such a far removed game from the arcade and from what the Genesis brought. But man, the first Ninja Gaiden, dude, like so good, notoriously hard. Well, I don't know. Technically, yes, they're the same, but I think there's differences in my opinion. Like for me, I think the hardest one is number 3. And the only reason why is because you have a limited amount of continues. And like right now, I know I could boot up number 3, get to stage 4 without dying. But then as soon as I have to do those double and triple jumps on the swamp and then go through that section with the bleeding water, I know I'm going to die. I know I am. I know it's going to happen. Number 1, I still think I could probably beat. I beat it last year, but it takes me forever because once I get to, level 6, like it's just doing that in a row and then fighting the 3 bosses in a row, the lightning dude and then Jackie O and then Jackie O again. But 3 is just rough, man. It's rough, dude. Yeah, souls don't have shit on Ninja Gaiden. Yeah. Dude, the second one I thought was a lot of fun when you could get the shadows and stuff like that, the shadow reuse. I never got as good as some of like the speedrunner people, but I did know about the jumping up in there and holding down and doing like the C hand. I did know that, like, because one of the times we would play and you would get the cyclone attack, or we called it jumping slash, but the whirlwind cyclone attack. If you could bring that all the way to the end, the bosses, you hit it with it once and it would take down like 3/4 of their energy. And then you could just get them real quick. But yeah, it's just, it was so hard. And then when I got it and I got the Jackie O and I did it once and got it down, I didn't have any hearts left or any magic power, whatever. And I was jumping up and I was trying to press up and do the thing because I didn't know I didn't had it. And I was pressing down and I was like, holy shit, I'm like hitting her like 20 times in a row. Like, what is that? And then I saw how you could do it. And I was like, oh, cool. So I started trying to actually do it. And I got pretty good at it. But like, that's so many years ago. My hands don't work like that anymore. They just don't. But if I was ranking the series, I would say 2, 1, 3. The only reason why 3 is my favorite is because when I finally did beat it, all 3 bosses that you have to fight in a row, I felt like I accomplished something glorious. And I did it I still have my Nintendo and I still have my games. So that was like really fun to do. But I need to break it out. It's in storage right now. But I did, whenever I go out and play on my emulators and stuff, I do play on the, actual like Nintendo replica controllers and like Super Nintendo. And I have N64 replicas and Genesis and all that stuff. So I try to do it as close to the original as possible. But yeah, the Ninja Gaiden games, man. When I saw my brother beat the first one for the first time, I was like amazed. I was like, oh my God. Like, you just did something incredible. We will talk about this, and your name will go down in the annals of history on Tremont Avenue in New Jersey. Warren, your number 6.
My number 6 is not as exciting as Ninja Gaiden, but it was an exciting game. It was Excite Bike, and I played the shit out of this game. I still remember, like, when you wreck, and he's gotta like run to there, like to get back on the bike, like, trying to.
When you just roll, like,
yep. I love that game. Me and my brother would play that one for hours too.
Is that the first game that had like map making in it? Because you could make your own tracks.
That's right. I completely forgot about that part, because you can make all sorts of cool tracks, and that was cool.
Yeah. The little H one that was like the little jump, but you could get real high.
Yeah.
And then like Q, R, and S were like those big giant things that they had. Yeah, man. Excite Bike was such a fun game.
Oh, it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was so much fun.
You had to hold down A, but if you held down B, your engine could overheat unless you hit one of the arrows, you know? And I didn't know for the longest time that the little things, the speed bumps on the ground, you could just press back and lift up the front end and go right over.
Yeah.
No idea I kept trying to, I'm like, how do you get through this? Like, it's impossible. And my buddy was like, just press back, dude. I was like, oh, I'm stupid. I'm dumb. Okay. That jives with the rest of my life. I'm the dumb one. Okay. Got it. Bob?
For my number 6, I've got the Mega Man series.
Nice.
If I know a lot of people consider Mega Man 2 one of the best NES games of all time. Mega Man 2 is a blast. But I had fun with pretty much with all of the games. So that's so I'm putting the series as a whole my number 6 spot, because there's some that I would put lower, some that I'd put a little bit higher, but I think just the series as a whole is pretty fun. I mean, they're classic games, and I always had a good time with that one, running around just jumping up and down with Mega Man shooting and stuff. So it was cool. I mean, it's just fun. I mean, that's the thing with a lot of these games, is that some of them were hard as hell, but others were, it just seemed so simple compared to nowadays games. And yet it was a blast, looking at Mega Man's a good example, a good side scroller, and you're just popping up and down, shooting stuff. I mean, it's cool. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, man. That's no, you're right. I have that a little bit higher in mind, but I'll save if anybody else does not have Mega Man in and wants to chime in, they can. Okay. So, Gray.
I loved all the Mega Man games. They were ones that for some reason we didn't own them, but like we would rent each one of them, and man, it was like a commitment all weekend to try and like beat each one of them. And man, did I love those. All the Mega Man ones are great. But another weird ass one that we got from a yard sale, I don't know. I can't think of another game like it. My introduction to it was through NES, and it was essentially a minimalist game that I haven't seen one like this before. But it is developed by Atari, and it was previously arcade game, and it was a rather unique one with a trackball, but doing it with an NES controller was so fucking weird. And everyone talks about like impossible games to beat. Marble Madness is up there for me. I have wasted again, I'd have to say thousands of hours. I remember one summer just madly playing Marble Madness for no reason. It is this weird balance platformer. I have no idea why it's so addictive. To this day, my wife's ringtone is actually, I think it's the main theme from Marble Madness. But man, I get excited every time her phone rings. It's just like, oh, hell yeah. It has one of the best soundtracks to any games out there. And I guess it was actually the first game to be able to use true stereo. Everyone before that used like monaural or essentially simulated stereo. But it's oddly addictive. It's really stupid. Someone might have been talking shit on that particular game a little bit.
I wonder who.
We'll get into that. There were some controversial opinions thrown around.
We'll talk about that.
But yeah, I don't know. Like Marble Madness isn't a game that I would seek out, and I was super thrilled when I finally got to one of the arcade cabinets with the rollerball. It is so much easier with that thing. It should be designed for that, not the regular NES controller. But yeah, man, there's something addictive about it. There's something to what they were doing. There was supposed to be a sequel, and for some reason, we never got Marble Madness 2, and it's a damn shame.
So I have a funny, like not really funny, probably for you guys, but at Blockbuster, I remember I was like, it was right when Nintendo like was out for maybe a year or two, and Marble Madness was out. You know, I remember this kid. Me and my brother were looking at games, and this kid like just ran in like next to us and just like literally like bowled me over, and he just went down. He's like, Marble Madness, Paperboy, Mom, they never have these fucking games here. And it was just like a little kid, and I was like, he just say fuck? But my brother was more like, did he just say they never have Marble Madness and Paperboy in here? Really? But yeah, Marble Madness, dude. That had some hard levels in it. Good Lord, you're right.
It's an impossible game. I think I spent thousands of hours. I have never beat it. I don't know what happens when you beat that game. But
the NES, it worked
really
a
fun.
lot better with the NES Advantage, obviously, because you know it wasn't a ball, but it was a joystick. It worked. It gave you a little bit more freedom. But I don't know. I've never beaten the game as well, but I did play it a lot, and that was I thought a really cool concept for a game. And I mean, they've done more stuff like that, like Super Monkey Ball. There was Glover,
sure.
With the N64. There was like other games that were kind of along those same lines, but nothing ever like the actual Marble Madness. And it is a shame that it didn't get. Especially now, like with little indie games that you could just make, like someone should recreate something like that. I think that would be really cool to do, especially like with the PS5, you could do the trackpad or, you know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah. Really good game. So my next game,
What's your
number 5 is Batman. So Batman was one of the first licensed games that I owned that was good. I'm not saying that like if it came out, after Chip and Dale and all that, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I owned first. And it was surprising because I remember wanting to get it because of how big a Batman fan I was. But my brother was like, dude, all the other, it's going to be a waste of money. It's going to be and when we got it and we loaded it up, and right as soon as you press start, man, you see the Batmobile, the doom, 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 doom. Like just the controls in the game were phenomenal. The wall rappelling was fantastic. The wall jumping was fantastic. The Orange says, am I the only person who preferred Batman 2 Return of the Joker? I liked it, but I didn't think it controlled as good as the first Batman, and I didn't think that the story held up just because of it was being based on the movie. So like I had something to compare it to, but it's not a bad game. The Return of the Joker is not a bad game where people want to trash it compared to the first game. And I think that's stupid because it is a solid game and one of the best cartridges of all time. Like the big Joker on the yellow printed label. Like it's phenomenal.
Mhm.
Like fantastic cartridge. But Batman, another Sunsoft game. And it just, I don't know, man. Being such a big Batman fan and actually getting to control Batman and do things with it, I was just like, and the soundtrack for that game is impossibly awesome and so good. And you could go back to that game today. It's one of those games that like Ninja Gaiden and other games that control very well, like Zexus and other games that you can play that control. Like that's one of the things that with Nintendo, when the games that do hold up are the games that have responsive controls and as minor screen tearing as you can get, even though it will always have it no matter what, slowdowns and stuff like that, but that are responsive and do what you're telling the controller to do. And that was one of the games that did and held up very well. And I play that game every year, no matter what. I will beat it every year and just go through it and have fun. But Batman is my number 5. So Warren?
My number 5 is the Super Mario games for 1, 2, and 3. And I think quality wise, I want to say 3, 2, 1, but I loved in 2 where they had Toad, Princess, Luigi, and Mario, and each one played differently. Like Toad was stronger, Princess would do the float, Luigi had that crazy jump. It's something that I don't think they ever did again, which I don't know why.
No, they have. They have.
did do it? Okay. Yeah, because I absolutely loved that mechanic where you got to play as these 4 different characters. The world was cool. It was
from Doki Doki Panic. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Like so what happened? Sorry to interrupt you, but go ahead. I'll tell you. I'm sure a lot of people know, but go ahead.
But 3 was awesome with the addition of the costumes, the raccoon tail, stuff along those lines.
The Tanuki suit.
Oh yeah. It was just I absolutely loved it. But 2, I thought that was I really liked 2, and I wish they would have done more of that. Honestly.
Yeah. So what happened is the Mario 2, the actual Mario 2 game that we ended up getting with Mario All-Stars called The Lost Levels. When it came out in Japan, it was notoriously hard. And Nintendo of America had testers. Like if you guys saw like in Nintendo Power, that Howard guy, and people like that, they would get games, right? And they would test them for the American market. And when they got Mario 2, they were really upset. They were like, because there was mushrooms that would kill you, and there was like just levels that were hard, and it looked exactly the same, right? Looked exactly the same as Mario 1. So what they did was there was a game called Doki Doki Panic, right? That was literally the same shit as Mario 2, just with different sprites. It had the same music, same everything, right? And they took that game, reskinned it with some Mario guys and like things that to this day are still in Mario, like Shy Guys, stuff like that were in that game. And they put a little bit of Mario flavoring on it. But yeah, it's weird because Mario 2 is one of my favorite games. I
was going to say, as long as you're talking about this, let me just slide it in there. My number 5 is Super Mario 2. I didn't include the entire series on there, just Mario 2. And it's just because it is so different. I understand it's completely Doki Doki, like reskinned, but
yeah, but it's still great.
Totally cool with that.
I had no idea.
I love that they take like the I guess it'll be spoiler for the ending, but they take the whole like, oh no, it was just a dream thing. I love it. It's so stupid, but it works, and then it kind of explains why nothing else.
It explains why it's so different in every. You're right. Yeah, 100%.
But I love it. I love the weird shadow world that you can go to. Just everything about it. It worked for me. And man, I can't say enough about Super Mario 2. It's probably the one that I spent the most time in, even though there's a lot more you can do in 3. But man, 2. There's just something about it.
2.
So,
I mean,
sorry to cut you off, Bob.
No, wait, but. Well,
you had the same game. No, that's fine. Bob. I'm supposed to be the caboose. So.
I know, but that's fine though, because you had the same one. I understand. That's perfectly fine. I'm sure Bob will hold his rage and destroy you after the show, but it's okay.
I deserve it. Sorry,
Bob's
Bob.
like, what are you talking? I'm the nice guy here, except on Tuesdays when it's my turn to talk. You should go on that show, man.
Yeah, I'd love to have
Oh, the
you guys
Birdos.
on there.
You should go on that show and see the different side of Bob. Where no matter what he says, people still love him. They still love him. Everybody loves Bob.
How can you not love Bob?
I have no. Just, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting thing. The whole thing about Mario 2 and just the first Nintendo Power, man. And did anybody else like when you would get like certain Nintendo Powers, like the Nintendo Power 2, like I don't know why, but the text on it, like it was printed so weird, like when you would move it, it would like bounce around and like it was very odd. And that one especially. So if you still have a Nintendo Power with Mario 2 on the front, just look at it like this and just do this, and it's like an optical illusion with your eyes. And I've noticed that on some certain Nintendo Powers, because I still have a few, the ones that my brother didn't take, jerk, which he will be on this show one day. And you will hear the wrath and the others. You'll hear his sides of the stories about how
We'll make sure to ask about Lobo.
A kid who was 8 years younger than him was the jerk in this storyline.
It sounds plausible.
Yeah, it's about right. My 8-year-old.
Hey, Bob, what you got at 5, man?
Well, you done with yours, Warren?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, my number 5 was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
hell yeah.
Oh, yes.
So again, this is a kind of like Double Dragon, where the arcade game was better, but still having that NES version at home was a lot of fun. It actually had a couple extra levels, if I remember correctly,
Yes.
from the arcade game. So that was kind of cool. Overall, I could play for hours and hours on that game. I loved that one. So yeah, I mean, it's the 8-bit version, obviously, of the arcade game, but it was just a blast. And
it
I
was
was
so
such a-
different than the first one.
yes,
The first
yes.
one is so different than the first one.
And that's
The first one is so garbage.
yeah, the first one is hard as shit. God, the first one was tough. But this one, the fact that it modeled itself after the arcade game, or it adapted the arcade game, I think that's made it more fun.
It did a
And
pretty
again,
damn
I could just
good
play for
job.
hours on it. Oh yeah, I for it to be an 8-bit version of it, I think
Yes.
it was a pretty good adaptation of the game. Like if I were to play that today, I'd still have fun with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's still a good game, man. It's still a great game. And it spawned like the third game and stuff like that. And for Super Nintendo, it spawned Tournament Fighters. There was, TMNT 2 is a game that I did own. We did buy, and man, we were so impressed how well, like, we knew it wasn't going to look like the arcade, but it was the first time where you were like, this is the arcade at home. Like
Yeah.
it is, it which is what everything was trying to be during the mid 90s, with like Neo Geo and other systems that you would see in magazines. But did you really know anybody that owned one? I knew one person that had a Jaguar. That was it. Like, I knew one dude that had a Jaguar, but Neo Geo and like games like that, like where the freaking games were the actual fucking tapes that they put in the arcades. These things, if you look at a Neo Geo game, they're like this fucking big. But it was cool.
So many cool Neo Geo games, though.
Yeah, like you could like take the memory card from there and put it into the Neo Geo system, like at the arcade, and you could bring your saved game to there, like for Metal Slug and other games. It's pretty crazy, man. But yeah, TMNT 2, fantastic game, man. Fantastic game.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. So grade, it is 5. So my number 4 is the Dragon Quest series. I put 1 through 4, just because it's kind of hard for me to. That would be like all 4 games, like would be the top, because I spent the most time with them. So I had Dragon Warrior. That's what it was called here until number 8. I had that before they gave away. I ended up getting my copy from Nintendo Power when they gave it away with Nintendo Power. But it was my brother's friend or someone had Dragon Warrior, right? And I loved it. I loved just running. I would die a lot, but because I didn't understand what I was supposed to do, right? Because I was just running around. But it was this giant world, and you could fight stuff and then explore. It was like a giant, it was fucking amazing. Yeah, you keep talking your shit there, Orange Avenger. You can.
Can't we just come together?
With no Dragon Warrior, there would be no Final Fantasy. And how well's Final Fantasy doing right now? It's doing so great. It's doing so good. So good. I do. Yeah, I thought gays were gay. Right.
It can be.
Well, you never played tabletop Dungeons and Dragons. They had to start somewhere, bro. You had to start somewhere. I fully agree that Final Fantasy 1 is a better game than Dragon Warrior 1. But Dragon Warrior 3 is far superior to Final Fantasy in every single way, shape, or form. And then Dragon Warrior 4, the storyline itself is just phenomenal. The fact that you play in the beginning as a character for 15 minutes, you name the character, you do all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. And then you play as these 4 different people, and that ends up becoming your party later on. You play each chapter of those people's lives, and then you come back together. And I know you are, Orange. I know you're giving me shit. I just don't listen to anything I say.
Though.
Oh, of course I am. That's what I do. That's my character. Do you think I actually care?
We don't joke about Dragon Warrior, Orange.
Yeah, no, in all honesty, dude, I don't care. Because my brother was that way. He was a Final Fantasy guy. He was 100% Final Fantasy. I was 100% Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior. But yeah, I just thought it was awesome. Because it's weird. In the United States, Final Fantasy is the big game. But in Japan, Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest is the big game. It's crazy. It's nuts. They Dragon Warrior 3, people, there's weird things that people say about it, but what actually happened was, because people say people were getting arrested and blah blah blah, but what happened was they made it so Dragon Warrior games would no longer be released on Thursdays, because that's when they were released, that they had to release them on Saturdays, because for Dragon Warrior 3, a bunch of kids were skipping school and Japanese businessmen weren't showing up for work. And apparently in Japan, that's a bad thing. You don't do that. But they got over there, they have Dragon Quest themed freaking 7-Elevens and all sorts of crazy stuff over there for Dragon. They are very into Dragon Quest over there. But it was just one of those games that I really enjoyed, and I still to this day I still play the series. I just played Dragon Quest 3 and 1 and 2 HD 2D remake, which I thought was fantastic, and I played the Dragon Quest 7 reimagined, which I thought was cool. I like the original one better. I like a good 200+ hour game that they shortened down to 98 hours, but I understand. I get it. It's much more accessible to the Western audience ever since Dragon Quest 11 came out and crushed. It just did very well over here. So that's what they're trying to do, is make it more accessible. Yeah. Yep. Stuff like that. That's why Monster Hunter releases our coordinator with the holiday. Yeah. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy, man. It's funny. I saw a video on it because there were so many urban legends about it, that policemen were having to get the statements to write laws and blah blah blah, and it's that's not what actually happened. It was just a bunch of kids and a bunch of businessmen just didn't show up, and they went and got Dragon Quest 3, fucking stayed home for 3 days and didn't show up for shit. And Japan was like, "Oh no, you cannot do that! No." But that's my number 4. Is the Dragon Warrior series / Dragon Quest series.
All right.
Warren?
My number 4 is a game that me and my brother wore out, and that was Techno Super Bowl.
Oh, nice. Did you
I
get
absolutely-
Tecmo regular Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo
regular Tecmo Bowl and then Tecmo Super Bowl. Yeah, we played both of them, and it was. I remember you could be on the 1 yard line and
With Bo
run
Jackson?
all the way back to get to the other to your own goal, and then throw it, and then the ball would get like really big and then small, and then you would score a touchdown.
Dude, Bo Jackson in the first game was unstoppable.
Oh yeah, he
Just
was
up and down, and then just sides like this, and he would just score every time.
It was just such a great friggin' game.
Do you know what Tecmo Super Bowl was actually supposed to be called? Let's see. Without looking, does anybody know?
I have no idea.
It was supposed to be called Gridiron Glory.
Really?
Yeah, and something happened. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was in a magazine. It was Gridiron Glory, and then something happened, and they called it Tecmo Super Bowl. I don't know if it had to do with licensing, because I know one of the companies had more like licensing with the NFL, and then but Tecmo Super Bowl had licensing with the Players Association, so they could have the players and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. And then the version for Super Nintendo was amazing too. The Tecmo Super Bowl for Super Nintendo is really good. I like that as well. But Tecmo Bowl, man, such a good game. Such a good game.
Yeah.
That and like I used to play Double Dribble a lot, or as the computer,
Oh man,
or as when you started the game up, it would say Double Dibble.
I forgot about Double Dribble. We played the shit out of that one too. Oh my goodness.
When, like you would foul in that game, and it was I don't know what I think it was supposed to say free throw, but it would sound like Vincewell, and you're like, what? What's a Vincewell? What is that? You shoot those impossible free throws with the ring bouncing up on top of the thing.
It's just square dudes that like you had to like you just it just said the name about. That's how you knew who it was. But yeah.
Do you remember the Jordan versus Bird?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
NBA
that
All-Star
was kinda
Challenge.
cool because well, wasn't that actually based on the commercials where they were going 1-on-1, and then that's where they based the game off of?
I think it's one of the first games based off of a commercial, but it wouldn't be the last
the McDonald's commercials.
Yes.
So that one was, but they actually had NBA All-Star Challenge with someone else first. It was Magic Johnson and somebody, and then they made the Jordan versus Bird games, which I thought were fun too, because you could do like the slam dunk contest, and which is funny. Like, you know, who's gonna win that one? Well, I know what your game you're talking about. He says, I like the basketball game where you could beat that was Arch Rivals.
Oh yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah. And then there was Bill Lambert's Combat Basketball, which was just like an acid trip. You know, there was that game as well. But yeah, that was pretty cool. But that's a good pick, man. That's a good pick. Both of you guys back to back, really good picks, I think. Greg?
Yeah.
Wait,
so
did you pick?
yeah, I was gonna say,
No.
let Bob just go. I thought you just
All right.
weighed in on the cool sports games. I remember the bird game, but sorry, Bob.
My
What's your
fault.
name?
My
It's
bad.
cool.
No, that's my fault. My fault, Bob.
Jesus, Laps.
Oh, you know what? No.
No. Anyway, my number four is the greatest boxing game in history, and that is Mike
hell
Tyson's
yeah.
Punch Out.
Ring King? Oh, Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's
Come on,
Punch
dude,
Out.
King Hippo.
And then eventually it just became Punch Out when they lost the licensing with Mike Tyson. And because he wasn't
when they lost the licensing.
Well, the thing was he wasn't champ anymore, and then obviously, you know, he was another problem, or he had other issues, so they didn't renew the license with that. The game switched from Mike Tyson to Mr. Dream as the main
White
boss.
ass-
filled
white ass
the
Mike
gap
Tyson.
in his
Yes,
tooth.
yes.
And just yeah.
Wearing green trunks.
But the game itself is a blast. You know, playing his little Mac, and you're sitting there jumping up and popping everybody, and it's just a blast. And the cast of characters, like with all the different boxers, you know, you have Glass Joe, Piston Honda, you know, King Hippo.
Yes.
King Hippo.
bull? Yeah.
It's a bald bull. You know, all these great characters. They were a lot of fun, and there were some, of course, as you got into that third group where they got a lot harder. There were some that were really a little more difficult.
Yeah, like you got Soda Popinski, who was actually in the arcade, was Vodka Drunkinski. he was like, so Punch Out in the arcade.
That makes sense.
He was like Little Mac. He was like he was like this green exoskeleton.
Yes.
He would see him like this, and yeah, it was. I could beat that game right now. I remember the Mike Tyson code right now, 007-373-5963. I played that game so much.
Code.
My brain is like stupid with that. I'm nowhere near as good as the people that could do it blindfolded, but give me like an hour or so. Yeah, I still to this day on the Switch emulator play Super Punch Out, which I think is freaking phenomenal game. But Mike Tyson's Punch Out, if I went right now, I could probably get to Macho Man, probably get beat a bunch. But yeah, there's actual cues in the game. Like, so with the bald bull punch, when he does the third hop, you'll see a guy with a camera, like it'll flash in the bottom right corner. Right whenever it flashes, you just press the punch button and it does it exactly perfectly every time.
Really?
There's little weird
on
cues.
all of them.
Yeah, there's little weird cues. And I think what's funny is like the first time you fight Don Flamenco and you could do the do, that. But the second time you fight him, dude, he pulls some bullshit on you, dude.
He blocks everything.
He does these weird under punches, and you're like, God damn. What do you mean?
You said I got no problems, and then you started going on from there.
I didn't say I had no problem. I said I think it giving me about an hour, I could probably beat Tyson. But I could definitely get to Super Macho Man. The one I probably have the most problem with is Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, Mr. Sandman was tough.
That's a little bit.
Sandman was tough.
That's a little bit rough of a fight. I might die a couple times on that. Probably.
But yeah, but that's my number 4 in that game. Was and still is a blast.
It is hard. There's some hard parts in the game, but like there's some really like if you go look on a video for Tyson's Punch Out. Look at the cues. There's like certain like flashing cues in the audience that you can do time stuff with. Like there's the one thing like when Piston Honda does his and does that little dance right before he does the first punch. If you hit him in the stomach and then the face, it'll knock him right out. Like there's cues that you can like get specific knockouts and like specific it's like those frame perfect things. I was never good enough to do those type of things like ever. Like I couldn't do those, but I could win the fights and get pretty good. That was a game I played so much and I still do to this day. Play more Super Punch Out than anything, but I'll still play Mike Tyson's Punch Out every once in a while. There's certain games that I'm really good at, and then there's games I would like to be good at, as I would say. Like there's games like even like with Batman, like I'm way better at Ninja Gaiden than I am at Batman. I don't know how far I could get in Batman, even though I try to play it like once a year. With that game, I will use save states because I'm not good enough to get through some of the whole levels, like past level 3. Some of that stuff is so freaking hard, man. So hard for me, it's like super hard to do. And like the jumping and stuff like that is crazy. What's this? It says, Derek and Joe 5729 Glass.
Yeah, that's Derek from Dad's Trying to Talk.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah,
Derek?
man.
Dude, do you ever see the whole the iceberg thing on the Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and they go in depth on what Glass Joe's one win was? You ever seen it? You have to watch it. I don't want to ruin anything. I'll send you guys the thing. It's only like a 15-minute video. It's not like a long iceberg, but it's really funny, dude. Just look up Glass Joe's one win video. Damn it. Yeah, and then there's Gabby J from Super Punch Out, or Super Punch Out, really good. Did you guys ever get to play the Punch Out game for the Wii?
No.
I didn't.
Oh man, that was so much fun. It was really fun, dude. Go look up some gameplay from it. Really, really cool stuff like that. It's really cool, man. Really cool. But Derek, man, good to have you here, brother. Love talking with you. Did you like it, Orange Avenger? Did you like the Wii version? My son played it a lot. I only played little bits of it, but I watched him play. And he loved it. He loved that game. Oh, okay, cool. Orange is pretty oh, nice. See, Derek played it. Yeah, we Punch Out. Awesome. Yeah, so really good game. Really good game. Cool. All right.
All right, my number 4 then.
Yes.
Yeah. So mine I know is it's an 89 action platformer game. I guess it was developed by Konami, but I knew it from this really weird logo that they had on the front of it, which just said Ultra. It is the one that Orange Avenger was saying is a cursed game. I know Bob just had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. I got the first one here as my number 4. I don't know, man. It is one of the most iconic NES covers, and it's because they took the cover from the old comics.
Yes.
I think it was an alt of like issue 4 or something like that, but man, the soundtrack to that is just amazing. The sound effects that they use, and then that whole underwater level, dude, I love that game. I spent way too much time on it. I loved the fact that you could switch between the turtles. Just, man, everything about that. I love it. I think I only beat the game once, and then I just retired from it. But man, I absolutely love the game.
And I know people talk about the dam, right? And they talk about the
I love it, dude.
Right. Because I
damn
think
good game.
The Technodrome in that game is fucking impossible. Oh my god, it is so fucking hard. That's like where you actually get into like your inventory, and you have to have the Leonardo sword, the shooting swords. Like that, you actually have to like manage inventory. Because like once you get past the dam, like the first time, I was like, wait a minute, what the hell's next? What am I doing? Like I always die. You
learn like tricks and like ways to cheat it. The way that like you can use Dawn's staff and like hit below where you don't actually have to combat with them, and then how if you re-enter certain areas, you can keep stocking up on pizzas. There's ways that you learn to kind of beat the game in a cheap way.
Yeah, but that end level, dude, is too impossible because there is no power.
It is. You got to be fully stocked on everything.
You have to be fully stocked 100%. Like, and it's long too. It's not short. It's literally like the second half of the game all in one level. Like the first half, like you can get through and whatever, but that Technodrome is literally as long as that first half of the game. It's so long and it's such bullshit. That game has killed me so many. I just wanted to beat it. Wanted to beat it, even because I never did as a kid. So I did as an adult, like, and I used save states. I don't care. I did. But dude, I was like, fuck this. Game. I was so pissed at that game, dude. So pissed.
And all the views are weird too. When you get like that above view when you're going around in the van and everything. I don't know, man. There's so many things that I love about the game, but it is frustrating as hell. I've had a tumultuous relationship with it, but it's one of those that I could explain how to do each level, but there's just kind of cheap ways to replenish things without having like a cheat code or anything like that.
Well, yeah, there's definitely ways to do that, but I think getting, like I said, the shurikens you definitely need, which are easy to get, but Leonardo's sword things are not easy to get. They're not, because there's only one specific spot that you can really go in and out, and it's in that bamboo house, and there's like 9 bajillion things, and those stupid flying things that go up and down the U shape in the middle of you getting attacked by 9 million things. That is slow down heaven. That game is slow down heaven. And why can turtles not swim in that game? I don't understand.
Unclear.
Like they swim in the level, but if you fall in the water, you die.
But it's kind of got like proto Flappy Bird in there as well, with the whatever you want to call it, electrified seaweed
Yes.
in
Yes.
the underwater level. Like it's, man, so many things I love about that game. It taught me the frustration of video games. So yeah, that's my number 4.
No, that's true. You're not wrong there. My number 3 is the Mega Man franchise. I think 2 is probably my favorite, but I think 3 is the best game overall. I like 4 and 5. I never played 6 until I was way later. And even 5, I never played until like I already had a Super Nintendo. And I had a friend, his name's Andrew, actually who I named my second son after. He was like, I thought like my sister and brother were a lot older than me because there's like a 10-year gap or 8-year gap, right? But so I remember when I went to his birthday party, right? It was like we were 12, right? His fucking nephew was older than us. His brother was like 37, like 38, right? And had a kid that was older than us. And his parents, it was total accident. You could tell. So his parents were like retired, and how they took care of him was, what Nintendo game would you like? When I saw his Nintendo collection for the first time when I went over to his house, he was like the only kid I knew who had like TV in his room and cable and stuff. But he had like, when I saw his Super Nintendo collection, I was like, oh man, you got a lot of Super Nintendo games. And I was like, you still have regular Nintendo? Because I still had mine and I still played it. He was like, oh yeah. He's like, here, he had one of those things from Nintendo that had like the zip up thing, and they had all the, dude, he just unveiled like 2 of them. And there was like 100 games and all 6 Mega Man games and I was like, can I borrow some of these? He's like, dude, take whatever you want. I don't care. I don't play them anymore. I was like, oh my God. So that's how I got to play a lot of the games I didn't own on the Nintendo, was playing it through him. But like, yeah, Mega Man, I think too, just the soundtrack. I mean, that soundtrack, right, spawned bands. There's bands that literally just cover Nintendo music because of Mega Man 2. Right. And for me, like 3 was my favorite. And yeah, Derek says Magnet Man. Enough said. Orange says, I thought 5 was the sweet spot. 2 is classic. Fuck 1 for yes. 1 had some really hard stuff in it.
Coolest cover though. Come on.
Yeah, it had the really weird man cover.
Yeah, like the realistic
man.
Yeah.
But had some really hard fights in it. 2 just was iconic, but 3 was the one that I probably played the most. And I think it's one of the ones that like since that was my like what I played a lot of, so like that's the one that resonates with me the most. I thought it was the most complete game out of all of them. But if I had to rank them, I would say being the worst. And when I say worst in Mega Man, it's probably just the one I would play the least. It would probably go 6, 1, 4, 2, 5, 3. That's probably how I would rank it. So, yeah. Because 5 is a good, Orange is right. 5 is a very good game. Like, because I thought 4, they were kind of like losing it a little bit. Like, it's like, okay, just the same thing again. And then 5 came and I was like, oh shit, yeah, they still have ideas. And then when Mega Man X came out and stuff, and it was like, oh yeah, here we go, they're starting to do it again. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So I thought that was cool. But Warren, your number 3, sir.
My number 3 is one we were just talking about, and that's Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, which, I mean, there's really not much more to say about it. I never did get to play the Wii version or Super Punch-Out, but I wore out playing the Mike Tyson Punch-Out. Now, we rented Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. By the time I bought it, it was already just Punch-Out because Mike Tyson got into all his legal trouble. But yeah, that one is, I mean, you guys pretty much said it all on that one. I mean, that game is just amazing. And just figuring out each guy's combination, and yeah, just sitting there wearing out the button because you finally get breakthrough and you're trying to get all the punches in you can. And yeah.
You know what's funny? When Tyson went over to Japan to fight Buster Douglas, he literally thought this was going to be no problem. And the guys that he was around that were training him, like if Customato was still alive, like never would have happened, right? And Don King was still in millions from him at that point in time. They didn't even bring an end swell, which is like what they used to push down the bruises and like, you know, help with cuts and stuff like that. They had literal bags of ice water that they were pouring in, that they were like drinking and just pouring into bags and rubbing it on him. Buster Douglas ended up getting a goddamn Genesis game from that. And the WWF, it was WWF at the time, was going to do a deal with Tyson even back then. And that's why Buster Douglas was the special referee at that SummerSlam or whatever it was. And it's crazy that all that happened to Mike Tyson in the span of like, you know, like what, like 2 weeks? Like
Yeah.
he loses and then some shit goes down. And when Cypress Hill said it, when the shit goes down, you better be ready. But he was not ready. He was not ready. So, Bob?
Okay, so my number 3, I first became aware of this from the greatest commercial ever made for Nintendo, and that was from the movie The Wizard. That is the greatest commercial ever for Nintendo, and I was made aware of Super Mario Brothers 3 at that point, and the game itself is a blast. It takes all the stuff that made the original special, it up the game a little bit. I mean, I know we've already talked about Super Mario Brothers 2, but to me, 3 just surpasses 2. I love 3. I love all the different outfits and stuff that Mario gets and all the different abilities based on whatever outfit he's wearing. It's just a lot of fun. And I loved how they carried that idea over into the movies, you know, based on the different power-ups and stuff. So it was just a lot of fun. I had a good time with that. I also loved that little level where you'd have to match the pictures and you'd get you know, extra lives for that. And, and you had all the different Koopa kids and stuff. So yeah, it was just a fun game. I love me some Super Mario Brothers 3.
The Koopa kids who later find out that are not his actual kids. And Bowser Jr. is Bowser Jr. Like, it blew my mind. Blew my mind.
I think that was the first game that showed me like hidden areas too. I guess they're not so hidden areas, but man, that the maps could be expanded. That game's awesome. Totally classic.
Derek says, I had a Mario raccoon outfit and really believed I could fly. I almost got a concussion.
Understandable. I should have gotten you the.
Oh, so that's what's wrong,
costume?
Derek. I've been wondering what the problem was all these years.
You figured it out, Bob. It's the lore is crossed over between shows. But yeah,
that's
so
awesome,
the Wizard,
Derek.
Right? Who didn't want to see the Wizard?
The Wizard was
Whenever
awesome.
It was a badass movie.
It's so
It made me want to get
horrible.
the glove.
It's so horrible, dude. That kid is so funny though, dude. When he's like, what was the kid's name? The jerk kid. What was his
Lucas.
name? He's like, Lucas has 22 Nintendo tapes. And then he pulls out the power glove and he plays Rad Racer and he's it's so bad. Fuck Lucas. That jerk.
Oh,
You
I love that movie.
got 50,000 on Double Dragon? Yeah, you beat the first 2 guys. Like when you hear the stuff and then you see what's like how it translates, you're like, wait a minute here. That's not a lot of points. Or that's wait a minute. That is you can't even get that many or something
Well, maybe
like
it's
that.
because he thought that the kid wasn't going to be able to pull that off. He just kind of here play, and then when he walked up, he was kind of shocked and like, oh,
No, yes. But I'm saying when it translates to the actual games,
yeah,
it's like you can't even get those points or those points are so few. It's just like in the scene where the dad is on the phone and he's playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but the game sounds in the back are like fucking Atari sounds. Like you're like, wait, what is having? Like what is going on here? You know, like so it's one of those movies that's just the fact that they gave away secrets in the movie, like where to get the one flute and the castle, you know, stuff like that, where it's just hilarious. And that whole acid trip of a scene where they go to the video game competition, my god, dude, what is going on there?
The to me, the highlight is that creepy child protective services guy, or the guy that they hire to retrieve Jimmy. To me, he's the highlight of the movie because
funny.
he's such a creep, you know.
And he's funny though.
Yes, he is. I love the scene where the girl's like, he touched my breast, and you see all you see all the cops come and grab him and take him out, and then a little bit later you see all the truckers show up. And that one trucker gets out. He's like, "Oh, so you touched her breast?" He's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. You could say stuff in those you know, in movies like that. They would never do anything like that.
Yeah,
now. Just like E.T., dude. I told the story, man. Whenever I heard Elliot call that dude penis breath, I thought it was the funniest thing ever, and I just kept calling everybody penis breath. I didn't care. I would just be like, "Shut up, penis breath," and I'd get yelled at all the time. My grandmother would be like, "Stop saying that." All right, Greg, you're number 3, sir.
Yeah. So my number 3, I don't think it'll be on your guys' list, but it
really?
should be. This game got shortchanged so much. So it came out either 91 or 92, depending on what region you lived in. But that happened to be the same year that the SNES was coming out. So it sucks. It's one of the later releases, and I think that's why it's not kind of seen as a classic. But man, it's by this company that I've never seen do anything else before. IREM, IREM. But yeah, it's this interesting action platformer. So it's called Metal Storm. It would be quite I don't know, an
Metal
ordinary
Storm is
game, but
one
it's
of
got
the best games for Nintendo.
It's got this one mechanic in it that makes it slightly different. Like you're
Gravity.
kind of a mech, or maybe you're a dude in a suit. It's hard to say, but you can get gun upgrades, and you know you shoot them up. It's great. But then there's this extra mechanic that they add where if you hit up and jump at the same time, you switch gravity essentially, and now up is down, down is up. You're on the ceiling instead, and when you jump, you go down. It adds this amazing element to it, and then they add kind of the classic what would you call that, the classic Mario thing where you can go from one side of the screen and then you pop up on the other side of the screen, that kind of element to it as well, and the ones where you can jump outside of the screen. It makes for one of the coolest games. I don't know, I came to it very late, but I don't hear it getting the praise that it deserves. Metal Storm is a badass action platformer.
You'd be surprised. I think now a lot of people actually do, like now that, you know, like because the catalog's been out for so long, you'd be surprised. That's on a lot of people's lists of like one of their top games.
It just,
like,
I know it got a
phenomenal
cover
game.
to like Nintendo Power back in the day or whatever, but it's kind of known as one of the biggest failures, which sucks.
Yeah. It suffered like the same thing with Final Fantasy 9, you know, like the other system was already out. You know what I mean? Like, and you go back and hear people now talk about Final Fantasy 9, and it's like one of the most heralded Final Fantasy games. That's like people are clamoring for a remake for years. I mean, there was a project that these dudes were doing that were redoing the whole game in HD. There was a trailer for it. It was beautiful. Like, and I think, you know, Metal Storm is just, it's such a good game, man. Such a very, very good game. I didn't get to play it, you know, because I didn't own it, but I got to play it a lot later on. Man, very, very good game. That's a great pick. That's a fucking phenomenal pick.
I love that one, man. It's definitely it's an easy one to beat, but man, is it worth it? And the music in that one too. I didn't give enough. The composer Toru Watanabe, amazing. And then I agree with Derek. The Wachowski sisters of the Matrix must have been Metal Storm fans. Down is up, up is down. There's still no spoon. Indeed. Yeah, man. I would say check that one out if you haven't. It deserves better than its current reputation. Lapser, what you got it to?
Bionic Commando.
Oh hell yeah!
I played that game way too much. It was a game that my brother bought independently from me, and I didn't get to play it right out the gate because it was his, and he pulled a bullshit move on me when he was done. I remember this so vividly. When he was done and it was my turn to play the Nintendo, he popped the game out, put it in the thing, and brought it upstairs with him. And I was like, you are such a dick. You are such a dick. And I had games that I had bought that I let him play, but nope, not this time, because he really wanted that game. And I didn't give any money to it, which I should have, because man, what a cool mechanic, dude. Just a grappling hook and just the way that you would play the stages and the overhead map. I did not get to do it originally. I'd done it later on in life, but I did see my brother do it when you swing in, and like he had died a bunch of times and he finally got it. Yeah, in Japan it was straight up swastikas, but in this it was like the Red Rebellion or whatever. But you still got to see the Hitler face, and it exploded. And I was shocked. I was literally like, holy crap. Like, and I didn't know, like I knew who Hitler was, but I didn't understand the connotation of it being in a video game until a little bit later on in life. But I remember watching my brother play, and when he got to the end and that happened, and we were just like, the guy's face blew up. Like it literally explodes and there was blood and everything. And we were just like, holy shit, that's amazing. But yeah, Bionic Commando, it just, it's so much fun, man. Even to this day, like there's something about the overhead map soundtrack that like it just, I don't know. I really liked it. It really felt like you were going on like secret missions and stuff like that. And you were some dude with a bazooka and a big, grappling hook that only went this way. Awesome stuff though, man. Such a good game. Warren, your number 2, sir?
My number 2 is the Ninja Turtle games 1 through 3. And 2, 3 were definitely like, that's the way the game should have been. Number 1 was, as a kid, I remember, was just so freaking hard. And it was, I mean, I played the hell out of it, even though I never got that far in it as a kid, because I love Ninja Turtles. I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan. But when that 2 came out, and it was just like one of the arcades I must have spent hundreds of dollars and quarters on, that was what Turtles should have been from the start. And 3, I believe, was Turtles in Time.
No, 3 was the Manhattan Project.
Oh, the Manhattan Project. Yes. Yeah. And I just absolutely love those games. 1, of course, you can't even tell the turtles apart aside from the weapons they're using, if I remember correctly. It's been such a long time, but yeah, I loved 2 and 3 especially, and 2 is just so cool to have that on the NES. Because I remember back in the day, it was like the arcade games were so far more advanced than what we were playing, and then we got to play that one at home, and that was like, oh, this is cool shit,
Yep. Yeah, it was such a cool time, man, because going to the arcade and just putting your quarters up, man, like, and Orange can attest to this, because when we played Street Fighter 6, he was using the way that the controls are set up now, and I was still using the old like 6-button stuff, like. And he would whoop my ass, dude. Like, I'd get close, but he would whoop my ass. And then when he started playing on his joystick and we were doing, I was a little bit better competitively, but he would still get me. And it's like I was so used to playing at the arcade, I never transferred over to like the newer age. And that was the big thing. Because like back then, the new age was arcades. Like to actually have that in your home, you know, and like have, it might not have been graphic quality, but the gameplay quality was there.
Yeah.
And to be able to play 2 players, you know, with a friend and actually do the game, it was awesome. Like so cool, man. And yeah, the TMNT arcade game is just a really, really, really good game. Ah, yes. I just placed my quarters to face winner in Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah, dude.
That was awesome. That was an awesome game.
Yep. And yeah, I remember you said I went back to playing classic with the arcade stick. If you remember, I was playing against you for a little bit. Remember that was like the only time I was winning in a row. If you remember, like I had like 2 or 3 wins. I never got a win streak until he went back and like started figuring out like playing with the joystick and stuff. And then finally, when he got it, I just stopped winning. Yeah, he's like, it was the one day, the one day, and then it went away forever. I'll play. We played a couple more times, but yes, then he never played me again. Hey, at least I showed up sometimes. MSK, I still give him bullshit. I'm like, so when are you gonna play Street Fighter 6? You had like a dude buy you the game, and you've never played us. Never played us. Champion for life. Bob, you're number 2, sir.
All right, so my number 2, it might be sacrilegious to have this one ahead of Super Mario Brothers 3, but I can't deny that this game is just so freaking awesome to play and just a lot of fun. And that is DuckTales. I mean, DuckTales was just a blast. I don't think I've met one person that didn't like playing DuckTales. Everybody had a great time with that game. So, I could just play that over and over. It didn't matter if I had beaten it or not. I'd go through it and play it again. It was just a lot of fun. So yeah, for me, the DuckTales is my number 2.
DuckTales,
Especially with the show and stuff being out in the movie. Movie, the treasure movie what was it called? The Treasure Lost Lamp or
something like that.
Something of the lamp.
Yeah. Just being able to play a game like and using they made it in such a way that it was so unique where Scrooge used the cane to like pogo stick off.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. It's so neat.
Well, not just the pogo stick. You could also do the golf club. Man, the cane was so versatile.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Well, with no further ado, my 2 is also DuckTales. It's an S-tier game, man. Capcom, it's one of the best ones they ever did. Man, it is my favorite Disney game by far, and that's saying a lot because a lot of those were fun, but nothing like the replay value in DuckTales. Just, I don't know. I think the first time I beat it, I didn't even know that you could do the pogo thing, and it just like blew my mind, and it just took the game to another level, figuring out that like, oh, that's how I was supposed to do everything. Just, man, I love that game so much, and you mentioned the soundtrack as well. You mentioned the Moon one, I think, lapsed. Just, yeah, man, every level in here is just
so good,
so iconic, man. I absolutely love this one. So yeah, my number 2 is also DuckTales. Woo.
Dude, it's you wouldn't think it, you know what I mean? You wouldn't think like something like that would be so good, and it is. To this day, people like defend that game to
they
no
just
end.
recently did like a remastering of it
a couple years ago.
And people were playing the shit out of that. I mean, it's just a great game.
Yeah, there's not that game. There are no weaknesses to that game. It's just solid from start to finish.
It's a great platformer. Like it's what platforming's supposed to be, based on a license that you know, and has like all the great cameos, all the quacktastic quacks that you know. from the show. If you're a fan, if you're a fan of the show, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a huge thing for you to be able to play using those characters. And that's that's like how it was for me with the Batman game. Like, when I first took that, like I said, when you first fire up and you see the Batmobile, dude, and you see him standing there like the Michael Keaton Batman, you know, like, it's like, oh shit, here we go, let's do it, you know. And it's awesome, man, so fun. Gray, you did, yours was DuckTales as well. My number one is Blaster Master. Blaster Master is the game I, besides Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior, probably played the most. It was so random how we got it. It was one of those games that was at Blockbuster and we rented it, right? And we had to pay for it because we never took it back. So we had to pay like the $70 or whatever it was. There's just, and it's so weird too, because you watch it and the beginning with the music, do, and you're like, oh, what's going on? The frog, what happened to the frog? How did he get so big? What he fell down the hole. Why is the hole there? Wait, what is the car doing there? Why is the car's wheels made of Tylenol? What is happening? And then you just start off doing and you play it, and it's just like, this is fucking amazing. Like, it handles so well. There's a lot of slowdowns, but that's to be expected with Sunsoft pushing the graphic capabilities of the game or of the system. And and the getting out of the car, you had like the car platforming levels, and then you would get out and go do these missions. It was over the top kind of, and you would have the grenade gun, and then you had the regular gun, but you get power-ups for everything. And then the boss fights, man, the boss fights were awesome in that game. They were so good, and the soundtrack as well is phenomenal. Just a great game overall, man, and one that we just didn't expect. It was one where we had rented like everything, from Blockbuster, and we were like, what's this one, and we kind of looked at it and we were like, oh, okay, because they didn't have the actual box for it. It was just in a plastic case, and we saw the thing, like, and you don't, the funny part is you see that big beast on the front, you don't see it till the end, and it's like the super boss, and you see it for like all of like 2 minutes as you fight it, and it's like the whole cover of the thing, and you're like, what the hell is that thing? And yeah, it's cool, man. But such a great game, such a fun time. It still holds up. I know they made a couple of sequels for like Genesis. That's a game.
Have you read the novelization? Orange is asking.
No, I did not. It says that they have a Blaster Master novel, by the way, based on the story. No, I have not. Yep. I definitely will have to. I'll have to check it out. If I could download it or find it on Amazon, I'll check it out. But yeah, just one of those games, man, where I could just go back right now. That was when my buddy made the mini arcade for me. He was like, do you have any like requests? Like, and I was like, oh, I gave him a list of games that had to be on there. And he was like, oh, don't worry. He was like, all the US released Super Nintendo or regular Nintendo games are on there, and a bunch of Famicom, ones. And I was like, yes, I get to play Blaster Master again. So I was super excited. And I did. I played the shit out of that when I got that thing. But Warren, you're number one, sir.
My number one has been mentioned a couple times, I believe, and it is the Mega Man series for NES. I am a massive Mega Man fan. I've played, I think, all of them except for the newest one, which was 11. I even played the Mega Man Legends games that came out for, I want to say, was that PlayStation?
Yes.
The 3D one, the open world one. Yes. Yeah. I used to draw it as a kid. I had the Mega Man novel that had like the weird Game 1 cover on it. And it was just all this written out novel. I had the comic books. If I could today, I would make a Mega Man comic series for free. I'd write and draw it for free. I absolutely love Mega Man. I was just just absolutely adore those games. And I mean, I really couldn't even put them in order. I guess 2 is the best, but honestly, I just love playing all of them. And it's just, yeah, I absolutely love Mega Man, Mega Man X, Mega Man, the cartoons, movies, everything. I love them.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I have a bunch more of these little Mega Man figures. I'm trying to find where I put them, but I have a whole bunch of them, man.
Nice.
I love Mega Man. Mega Man's good shit. Bob, your number one, sir?
My number one is The Legend of Zelda.
Okay, that's it. That's not a bad number one, man.
It's just a lot of fun. I mean, we've talked about how it's one of those games that it was an open world. Had all sorts of different areas you could go to. Lots of little different tricks and stuff you had to figure out where to put the bombs to open up little hidden passages and rooms and stuff like that.
Dude,
it
the
was
candle.
Just a lot of
the candle.
What's
I
that?
burned so many bushes with that damn candle. Once
Yeah.
I saw like you did one, I was like, gotta burn every bush. There's
Yep.
got to be an opening somewhere.
Yep. I mean, it was just it was a lot of fun, and I had a good time with that game. But it was literally a game you could play for hours. I think it's still a solid game if you were to play it now. Obviously, there have been newer versions that have come out, but the original to me it still holds a special place. And I'm really looking forward to the film. Hopefully, it's a solid adaptation. But The Legend of Zelda is my number one.
Oh, sorry. Orange said Worlds of Power Blaster Master. Yes, I do know about this. I do know about that. Sorry, yeah, okay. Got it. But Zelda, that's I can't argue with that being number one. It was right off of my list. Just I think it's one of those games for me that like I played it a ton, right? But I don't think it affected me it didn't affect me till later on. I was more like the Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior where I would like plan out everything, like that type of RPG / action, game. But when I got later in life, I think I liked Zelda a little bit more as for the NES, like the original Zelda. I think 2 is a misunderstood game, but it also has problems with it where it's like stuff that why would you even think to do that? You would have to have like a strategy guide or this, like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you hold the crystal next to the thing and a temple would arise out of it? You know what I mean? Like, there's just stuff where you're just like, what? How am I supposed to know to walk 7 paces down from the middle of the graveyard to get to the, to get to this? I don't know. Says, why hasn't anybody said Contra? Contra was not in
Well, not
my
everyone's gone yet, sir.
Oh, is your number one Contra?
We'll have to see when we get there, man.
Well, we're gonna get to Gray's number one, but we have to play it one last time because this may be controversial. So, brought to you by Gray Poupe, a Jackie Gray joint.
There may be some controversy here. What can I say? I absolutely adore Zelda. For some reason, I never owned that cartridge. Like, it would never show up in any sort of the used markets or garage sales or anything. People hung on to that awesome gold cartridge where I don't know. I came across a bunch of other weirder ones, but
Action 52.
What can I say? People were more willing to part with the non-gold cartridges. But the favorite one that I ever came across, which I didn't even know what the real cover looked like. It happens to be a Konami run and gun, if you will. But yeah, man, I absolutely love Contra. But my number one choice is actually Super C. is how they market it in the US, but it's Contra 2, otherwise known as Super Contra, The Alien Strike Back, or if you're in the UK, Probotector 2, Return of Evil Forces for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, Super C, man. We've got Bill and Lance. They're back, man. And this time their mission is to go even deeper. And I dig where they're able to go in this one. Fireball is so usable in this one compared to the first one, where you had this weird like circular shot. In this one, it's actually one of my favorite ones. You can charge it up and then do like a super fireball thing.
Yes.
So I don't know, man. I absolutely dug this one. The Konami code. This one makes a little bit
Only
more
gives you-
sense.
It gives you 10 guys, I think, not 30, right?
Yeah, 10 guys, but I don't know, man. The Contra games. So I loved the first one. For some reason, I could also never find that one on the used market. I didn't end up owning that until much later, but like I would play it at buddies' houses.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, Super C is my
It's a good
one.
pick.
Just
Good pick, Gray.
not only do you have like a mechanical spider that it launches grenades and stuff at you. It's awesome. You got to take it out. Yeah, I just absolutely love it. It taught me that, one bullet will kill you, so never get shot. Other games, they don't teach you that. There's responsibility that you learn here. And then you get to learn that, sometimes others don't play fairly. It's the first one that I know of where, when you die off all your characters, if you just hit either A or B, you steal one of their lives, and now you get to keep playing. Man, did it teach me how to fight my brother in those moments.
Ah,
I learned fisticuffs from that movie, or from that video game, I should say. It's great, man. Yeah, it was a real doozy. But yeah, man, I think it's to this day my favorite game. I've beaten Super C, I don't know, like hundreds of times, but there's something about just I could be doing anything else, listening to anything else. There's just something about being in that zone where you're just dodging these simple little, I guess like 4 pixel balls.
Yeah.
It's great. It's my favorite run and gun of all time. Just, yeah, man. I have spent countless hours on Super C. I love Contra, but I think they were able to truly perfect it in the second one. I dig a lot of the other ones. They just did one not too long ago. I think it was like 2 years ago, which was okay. But
I think Contra
yeah,
3, the
Super
Alien
C.
Wars, is pretty dope.
That one's pretty awesome. To me, it's no Super C.
Oh, well, hey, I mean, that's I think everybody had really good lists. They were very different, which is cool. We only had a few repeating games. But so some honorable mentions I have here. Number 1 is Zexus, which I know Gray really loves that game and didn't talk shit on it at all.
It's probably a me problem, but the only reason why I'm familiar with that is one time our Nintendo fell over and it stopped working after that. So we took it in to get repaired. And when it came back to us, it had that game in it. It was like the game that they were using to test it. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Great game.
It's not my game. I couldn't ever quite figure it out. It just, yeah, I don't know, man. I tried. I gave it many hours. Just not me.
So I'll just start going down the list of my honorable mentions. There's a lot. Clash at Demon Head, which I liked a lot. Action in New York, which was a really cool Contra style game, very underrated game. Really actually worked really well. Metal Storm, Faxanadu I had on there, pretty cool, like action RPG style game. Dragon Strike, which is neat because you dragon, fucking cool. Battle of Olympus, which was literally a Zelda 2 clone. I also had the Zelda franchise on there, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, the Super Mario franchise, Contra, Wizards and Warriors franchise, which the second game, Iron Sword had Fabio on the cover. Fabio. So, how do you get up there? Final Fantasy.
Pre-Goose Fabio too.
Yeah, before we didn't, because of how weird Final Fantasy came out here, we didn't get Final Fantasy 2 or 3 here. For Nintendo, we got Final Fantasy 1, and then Final Fantasy 4 came out as Final Fantasy 2 on the Super Nintendo, and then they skipped 5 and gave us 6 as 3. but through like different iterations, we ended up getting, you know, Final Fantasy 2, 3, and 5 into the games. Final Fantasy Anthologies had Final Fantasy 6 with some cutscenes added to it, and they gave us 5 in that. So like there was, you know, some really good stuff there. Excite Bike, Spy Hunter, Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl, Rygar, Ghost and
Rygar.
Vice Project Doom, which is really, really, really cool game. So it's really interesting how that game works. So you're like a little robot in your you can fly around like up and down, like kind of like a Silver Surfer-esque game, but you got these two shield projectiles. So it would be 4. There's 2 balls, but you can make them go forward or backwards or stay prone, and they can shoot things and shield you. And it's very well done, like super well done. Derek asked F-Zero. That might be next week since we're just doing NES. We're not doing Super Nintendo. That will be next week, and it would possibly be on Bob's list. I know it's going to be.
We'll see. We'll see, because I actually didn't have a Super NES. Now, I've played several Super NES games.
Oh, so you might be a Genesci.
Yeah, I had a Genesis, so.
Okay. So, Vice Project Doom, Star Tropics, which might be the best yo-yo game.
Fun. Yeah.
Might be, but Goonies 2 is up there. I mean, I can't mess with that. Blades of Steel, DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, TMNT 2, the arcade game. So those were just a bunch of honorable mentions that I put out there because there's just so many good games, dude. There's just so many good games.
You guys ever play the Jaws game?
Yes.
Where like Jaws was coming up, you had the boat and you had like
ram him. Yeah.
When it came up.
Dude, it just sucked that you had to go to all those different ports and collect shells. That's all you had to do for the first like freaking how many hours, and then you could finally like do the real Jaws thing.
I just remember when you would get that little mini sub, and then you could start shooting torpedoes at Jaws.
Yes, Kung Fu was a great game.
Yes, Kung Fu was a great game too.
It was a great game. Adventure. So Adventure Island. I didn't have it, right? But I did have Super Adventure Island for Super Nintendo. And I went back afterward and played Adventure Island, and I thought those were really good platforming games. And like, what's that one? The Ninja, Nikki the Ninja or something. There was other ones that are really good. Wrath of the Black Manta. Some other, like, there's some really obscure games that are really good out there. But I didn't have any of the Adventure Island, so I didn't even know anybody who had it. Until later on, whenever I would see like in Nintendo Power, like Adventure Island, I'm like, what is this game? And then when Super Adventure Island came out, and I was like, all right, well, I'll get that. And I thought it was really cool. It was a good platforming game. So I was like, oh, I got to try it. I went back and played it through emulation, but I never actually owned the cart for it. And I still have like in storage. I think I'd have to check. I might do a video because I'm thinking maybe sometime soon Warren might have to make a trip out here, and we might have to go through my storage facility and catalog some more comics and some video games.
That sounds awesome.
And you can bring a giant box with you and take a whole bunch of stuff.
Deal.
Yeah. So we might, if we do, we'll make okay. So here we go. This was something, that Derek brings up that I thought this was hilarious. Okay. So he says the Top Gun game can suck it because the landing the plane was complete pain in the ass for me. So here's the thing. I know, and I agree, right? Until I was told, and it's just so stupid, you're going to feel like such a dumbass, right? When you're doing the landing the plane sequence, there's literally underneath the plane where it shows the up and down, right? It tells you the speed and the altitude. So if you literally just press B and you match the numbers to you can let the controller alone for like 2 minutes and let it just go in. I did not know that until someone told me. And as soon as they told me that, I was able to get to like later stages where, dude, some of the later stages are hard with the torpedoes and stuff. It gets crazy, man. Like they would shoot like the subs would like, or the aircraft carriers, whatever, shoot the missiles at you, and they'd be coming, and you're like trying to dodge it. All of a sudden, dude, you get blasted. And so many people have that same problem though. But if you go back and play it, try it. It's actually kind of funny, and you're going to be like, I wish I knew that.
Did you ever see the video that the angry video game nerd did on his review of Top Gun?
With the power glove.
But I love it where he says he's like, I never got past the second stage. He said, so I just had to. So for the rest of this review, I'm just gonna state what I think the last 2 stages are.
Yeah, AVGN. I that changed a lot of things too, because I didn't start seeing AVG until about 2005.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was around that. It was like already a year into it. And when I started watching it like real religiously was like when he did the Ninja Gaiden episode. I thought that was like one of the funniest episodes. When he said, when the ninja kept telling him what to do, and he would like freaking cartwheel out of there, but then he was like, nunchuck fuck, when he tried to play. It was so funny, dude. Yeah, I mean, and I get it that his show's a lot different now. It's super tame and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I don't know how you keep that character going for like 22,
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. The fact that it's like still gets the views it does is pretty nuts. I think it all kind of went downhill whenever he did the movie, and it wasn't what people wanted, but it was still like he didn't false advertise. He told us what it was going to be. And then, yeah, but I like a lot of his other stuff, like his other reviews. Like I liked Rocky Jumped a Park Bench. I thought that was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
That is very true. Orange, you run out of some shitty games, and then you just got to make shit up, Like when he did his Earthbound review, and I was like, I like Earthbound, like, so it was cool to see him actually start doing like actual good games, and talk about that. Board James had the best ending of all time. Yeah, the Monster Madness stuff is great, all that stuff. He has a really good channel, man. I actually liked his he did the verses of, or not verses, which movie got things most accurately. He did one for Dracula, and he did one for Frankenstein, and he had like 12 movies or 9 movies, and he would go through the book and actually see which ones got stuff that was actually in the book. And it was crazy because, like, I don't want to give it away, but go watch them. They're pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. And he makes a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, the angry video game nerd though has like it's gotten a little bit out of hand. But as much as you could do with that character, there's still some old great videos, dude. Like when I watched the Bugs Bunny, the first one, man, like the birthday blowout, which led to Crazy Castle, when he took a shit on Bugs Bunny's face. And then fucking when Bugs Bunny came out for Birthday Blowout, he's like, why are you so mad? He's like, yeah, fuck you, you video game. Fuck, how about shitting on my face? And he just starts punching him. Like, so that was gold, man. It was a good time. But yeah, man. What'd you guys think of doing this? Was this fun for you guys?
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to doing next week's, like I said, where we're doing the Super NES and the Genesis games.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a little bit different. Because I didn't own a Genesis till later. So I kind of, whenever I did own it, like it had already been out, like, and we were already on the next, iteration of systems. So there were some games that I had that I didn't know were like super obscure that I look at like now and are worth a lot of money. And I was like, no shit. There's one game in particular that I really, really enjoy, and it'll be on my list next week. And it's actually pretty freaking high on my list, considering Super Nintendo is probably my favorite system of all time. So, yeah. Well, thanks, Derek. You're more than welcome ever to come on, man. You're more than welcome to come on as a guest. We'll let Bob know if there's any of the topics that we'd like to do that you're interested in. Just let Bob know, and you're more than welcome to come on any week and have a good time.
Oh yeah,
and make fun of me, because that's apparently like a pastime on this show. It's so easy. It's so easy to do, right?
I mean, it becomes second nature. Yeah.
Second nature, as opposed to first nature. But yeah, so what do you guys got coming up this week, Warren?
If my back is feeling better, hopefully I'm going to be able to do a live draw and get back to work on my squirrel book on tomorrow and Sunday. I will be back with the Art Brothers art show on Monday. We're going to be doing Marvel Rival characters. We were supposed to do it last Monday, but that's when I got hurt, so I wasn't able to do it. And then it's just going to be trying to get back on track and I'm starting the inking and gray toning of the first issue of the Squirrel Book pages. But because I was on my ass all week, I was able to get all of the outlines done, and I'm ready to start scripting the entire Squirrel Book now. So nice. I got caught up on all that stuff, and so that's going to be moving. It's just if I'm feeling up to it, I'll be able to do it tomorrow.
How many issues are you going for? Is it 4? Are you going to do 4 this time or 5?
It's going to be I'm thinking it's going to be 5.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, I think it's going to end up being 5. I'm working
like
it out
like a longer 5th book, possibly 6.
Possibly, or the finale will be 5 and 6. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm trying to pace it out, but I'll see how long 2, because 2 and 3, there's some big stuff that happens, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not I can combine 2 and 3, or if I can have to keep them out separate, because I'm working on that now. So
just if you do that secret ending that I gave you, you better have me in there too.
Oh, okay. I'll work on it.
That's going to be one of the endings for one of them. One of them has to have that in there at some point in time. That's awesome, though. Yeah, guys, go subscribe to Warren's channel. He does so much cool stuff. And, go out there and read The Adventures of Sig and Joe, which we will be doing at some point in time. We got to get our stuff together. But go read it. It's awesome, man. It's cool to see someone on the panel actually have like some of their, lifelong work and dream come true, and who's out there doing it. He's putting all his shit on the line for this stuff. So, go out there and support him, man. Go support Warren and his channel, and go read his stuff at Global Comics. I'll put the link in the description after the show. But yeah, go do that. It's awesome. Bob, what do you got going on, Bob?
Let's see. Well, just a few days ago, Lapsed was on Dad's Turn to Talk. We talked Casino Royale. That was a lot of fun. So go check out that episode over on the channel. I did see Toy Story 5, and we're going to be talking about it on Dad's Turn to Talk next week. I've had a lot going on this week, so I don't know if I'm going to put an individual review of it out. If I do, I might just make it a short. Just to do something really quick, just to put something out. But like I said, we'll be talking about it on Dad's Turn to Talk next week. And on that show, we'll actually be ranking our top 5 favorite Pixar films. So that should be, that should be a little
fun.
Yeah. So go check that out. And there's a lot of fun movies coming up still. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some reviews on some of those.
Yeah, go check out Bob's movie review channel, and go check out Dad's Turn to Talk. Be in the chat, man. It's a lot of fun. They got a good base over there. They got a lot of fun people in the chat, and it's a fun show, man. It's a well produced show. I'll
take that because
well, I'm saying you actually have like specific topics, and you have a format. So you guys try to get a lot in. Try to get a lot in on there. So it's a lot of fun to do, and a lot of fun to be on, where I don't have to do anything except watch a movie. It's fantastic.
And I'd love to have both Gray, you and Warren on there as well. At some point, we'll discuss that, because I'd love to have you guys on there.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm not a dad though, so
that doesn't matter.
Oh.
It's confusing because people think, oh well, I'm not a dad. It actually has nothing to do with dads. It's an entertainment podcast. The only reason we called it Dad's Turn to Talk is because the idea is we're all dads on there, and we've been dealing with significant others, kids, work, and all that stuff all week, and now it's our chance to finally get to sit down and talk about the things that we want to talk about. So that was the kind of the the idea behind the title of the show. But yeah, you don't have to be a dad.
Yeah, I would love to be on. That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Greg?
I don't have much coming up this week, other than, of course, join us next Friday right here for another one of these. Only we'll be talking Super Nintendo. Until then, though, I am working behind the scenes to get a new show up and running. Perhaps there will be headway made on that very soon. But that's about all I got going on. Other than that, let me just shout out a couple games that we didn't mention. G.I. Joe, that one was awesome. Gauntlet,
Good game.
I don't know why I hated that game, but at the same time, I loved it. Karnov, nobody knows Karnov. Sure, you get Rygar every once in a while, but Karnov, it was weird.
Fat guy spitting fire.
It was awesome, dude. He spit fire. But yeah, Dr. Mario. I don't know why I need Mario with pills, but somehow more addictive than
Hey.
Tetris.
Hey.
I love it. What you got going on, Lapsed?
Well, I think as soon as whenever me and Gray figure out exactly, we kind of know what we want to do, but when we figure out exactly what we're doing, we'll have it mentioned and we'll have the schedule up and all that stuff. We'll have that like kind of like what we're doing here with the scheduling and you guys knowing everything. Go spread the word, go, get people to subscribe to the channel. We would love to, have more people here, but we do appreciate everybody that shows up. We love you all. Even you, Miss Sparkles. We care deeply.
We care a lot.
Yes. As the Faith No More song says. But
That's what plays all
I
the time.
will we'll have the show next week with the Super Nintendo and Genesis games. Me and Warren are going to get together and we're going to hash out when we're going to do Sig and Joe. Me and Gray will have a new show coming out sometime soon. Might be in the next couple weeks, but when we do, you will all know about it and it'll be a lot of fun. And I think it'll get back to kind of what we wanted to do. And, I think when we had Charles with us, it was more like, cause he was a stand-up comedian. We kind of wanted to go that direction and kind of pick his brain about it. Cause it's like, that's a subject to me, Gray, that's very infatuating. Like we kind of are enamored by the whole, like going around the world and telling jokes for a fucking living. Like that's just like, that's such a weird space to live in, and we kind of got into that, but at the beginning, we just wanted to talk all comedy. So I think it's going to be something around that, but have some other stuff to it. So, but we'll let you guys know. But besides that, man, stay safe and enjoy each other. And remember, you can't make cash without controversy. Controversy creates cash.
Lapsed. Hit
Yes.
that button.
I'm going to.